Once a year, the stars get in their cars and go to race to find out which one of them is the All-Star. Welcome to the 2023 Area All-Star Race Evening at Charlotte Motor Speedway. I'm Kyle Heyer, joined by Vinny DeCuna and Hunter Sleppy for what is sure to be an excellent night of racing. Two 20-minute heats in our open race, and then a 100-lap all-star feature with a halfway break to settle it all. Not $1 million on the line tonight, but bragging rights for a year, certainly part of the conversation. Welcome back to Charlotte. Finny, and welcome aboard to the Area All-Star Race Evening as we get set for the Area All-Star Open.
Yeah, I was going to say, these guys aren't racing for $1 million. They are racing for $100, but I'm sure a lot of them just want the bragging rights of being the best of the best. We have race winners from all three series here in area, the Cup Series, the Truck Series, and the Pro Series, and they will come to compete here in both the Open and the All-Star Race.
Indeed, and we have some All-Star Race winners from the past looking to add their name as the only two-time All-Star Race winners. That was Jake Nichols from Season 2, and then last season, Jordan Martin looking to add possibly a second All-Star Race win to their ballot, but they have plenty of competition that's ready to knock on the door for their first win. But before then, we need to determine who will be the last three drivers into the All-Star Race from the All-Star Open.
Yeah, so we're going to basically pick our first of the three that will advance to the All-Star with the winner of the first of the 20-lap races, and then we'll pick our second two from the second race. So one, the first place driver, the first 20 laps, and the next 20 laps will pick 1 and 2 to move on to the 100-lap All-Star Race. So that's what's on the line tonight as we head down to the racetrack, the final moments of practice here for the All-Star Open. As far as those that are in, they're all names that you're familiar with that have already won or been up in the mix in the past couple of years. As far as the All-Star Open is concerned, Finian, there's a lot more names on here that are newer or haven't had as much success that they would just love to get into this show. And there are some, like JT Poole and Connor Okrezik, and Alex Weaver, that have definitely been in the mix in the past. How about Rafe Slate? He's not qualified in. Carter Koop isn't in. And many, many more. So this is going to be a fun night. Drivers going for it all to get into the big show.
Oh, it definitely is, and also we got to talk about the biggest point is that we're not even racing any of the three cars we normally see here in area. We're racing the Gen 4 Cup car, the newly revamped version of it that we saw at Daytona a couple months ago during the preseason race. So, and everyone's done a fantastic job with the paint scheme. Just kind of been scrolling through the field here for the Open. Haven't even seen the All-Star Race drivers themselves, their paint schemes, but a lot of slick-looking cars here out on the racetrack, and currently the highest of those slick-looking cars, JT Poole in the 21 car.
Yeah, this car was probably my favorite car from area when it first came out. Not the revamped version, but when areas had 4 series opening up, we had the Cup cars, the Xfinity cars, trucks, and then the ARCA cars. ARCA cars were arguably my favorite out of the 4. Got rid of them after season 1, but this was the OG Pro Series car, even though it's now known for the Xfinity cars. But I'm really looking forward to this, Kyle. Can only imagine what's going to occur here at Charlotte.
It's going to be a fun night of racing. Before we get into qualifying here, 10 minutes as we normally do, race fans, be sure to subscribe to the Area iRacing Twitch channel for only $5 a month. You can watch all area broadcasts commercial free. You can also use new Area iRacing emotes in the chat and earn double channel points as a subscriber that you can use to redeem for free merchandise. Just go to twitch.tv/Area iRacing. My voice is absolutely destroyed. I was just talking with these guys before the broadcast that I'm fresh off of Grid Life Midwest, which is my employer's biggest festival of the year. We had a record-breaking crowd for us, a sold-out crowd of 20,000 people this weekend, all watching grassroots racing, drifting, and time attack. And then Boogie T, Wooly, and a bunch of other great EDM artists took the stage on Friday and Saturday night. And it was rambunctious out there, to say the least. I heard there was a burnout competition in the grass, which is not advised, but I'm back. I wasn't even partying, but somehow still lost my voice, even though I made it completely through the broadcast without doing that. But here we are once again. At least it's a week off after this for me as far as broadcasts go. So qualifying underway. Here's JT Poole in this 21. He's one to watch for sure. He's been up in the mix. But because it's not a vehicle that we're necessarily used to, guys, this is going to drastically change up who we'd expect to see at the front, considering this is not a car we typically drive.
Oh, definitely, because the way I just went out there for some practice. It's been a while since I had some seat time in this version of the car, and it drives a lot different than what you're used to with between the next gen, the truck, and the Pro Series cars. Those cars a lot more planned into the racetrack. Here, these cars a lot more looser around here. That back end's going to swing out if you push a little bit too hard, so you got to be a little bit conservative in some parts and kind of know the bounds, know the line, and be right up against it without going over.
The 43 of Matthew Bell, and these guys have different car numbers on, so apologies for the confusion there. Some have different numbers than what it says on the ticker.
Here comes Matthew Bell to start his flying lap off into turn number 1, right up against the outside wall. And I took this thing for about 3/4 of a lap just to get a photo for the thumbnail, and my God, this thing is fun to drive. It really has a little bit of juice behind it, which is sorely needed, I think. But really, honestly, one of the favorite of my 3 cars that we're running right now in the Area Series is the Area Pro Series car, the Xfinity B Series machines. They just seem like they've got the best balance overall. But this car, more power, more everything. And Matthew Bell comes at a 30.097. That puts him third quick.
They're doing a solid job. And a reminder, again, these guys only have 1 lap to qualify here with the new rule for Season 4 here at Area. So 1 lap of qualifying at the tracks 1 mile and above. Jacob Bell now flying across the line. Going to be 5th on the charts with the 77 machine.
Alex,
Looking through here in the past from the Pro Series, the ARCA cars, the only drivers that are locked into the All-Star race, Justin Sogok, Travis Beckner, they have experience in these cars and both have a win. Justin not going to be here tonight though, so that'll be a little more of an advantage towards Travis Beckner.
Here comes Alex Weaver to start his lap. Love the look of the Camaro nose on this thing without the bow tie. I think that looks really nice. He heads off into turn. Almost mistook it for a Subway scheme, and then I realized there is a Subway logo on the front. Whoa, big slide there out of turn 2, Finian.
Yeah, it's a little bit sideways. This is what I was talking about. If you put too much power into it, a lot of times you kind of just used to the car. Once it starts to rotate a little bit, you can kind of hit, pretty much 3/4 to full throttle off. Here you got to modulate the throttle all the way to the exit of the corner until you can finally get back on the power. So Weaver going to come across the line in his 45 machine. Can he get near the top? No, not quite. Only 12 fastest on the board. Mason Kane, Chris Rabel, and Michael Muhammad out on their laps.
Oh my goodness, you can see how aggressive Kane is behind the wheel of that 31, also known as the 10. 30.032, so the 10 car, even though it says 31, second quickest for Mason. And there's Michael Muhammad drifting it in turn 4. Don't know if he clipped it, but he's going to stop the car.
Love the Dr. Pepper colors on that car. Love the Corolla on Mason Kane's machine. An interesting combination. I wonder if it's the GR Corolla. Doesn't look like it. It's got the sedan taillights. GR Corolla, by the way, we had one oil down Gingerman Raceway twice this weekend. Same car. Rain bolt backed out twice.
Oh, that's not good.
Operator error, but still funny. Except that we used like 5 bags of oil dry on that car. So Michael Muhammad going to go back out. He hadn't yet taken the green, so he's going to get to go again.
He got lucky. He was right here in 3 and 4 on the top side. The car stepped out on him. This time, going to make it on through, so he will come across the stripes. But now he's got to execute, because if he makes that same mistake, he's going to be starting from the back. And not a whole lot of laps. Again, only 40 laps for this entire Open, divided to 20-lap heats separately, separated by a caution. He's going to go get very tail happy out of turn 2.
I feel like we might see the same in 3 and 4. He's going to run it on the bottom. Thought he was going to take it to the high side in 3 and 4, although that car is sliding up. 78's definitely got a handful as he nearly smacks the wall on exit.
That was about as close as you can get without touching it. 30.238, which put him about mid-pack, P8. And here comes Connor O'Kresick. Matte black colors on this. And off into turn number 3.
Going to try to keep it down, see what he can do here. Again, I think a solid name to see get into the main event, the All-Star race coming up. See if he can finish it off, at least in qualifying here, getting near the top of the timesheet. It's going to come across the line, 30, almost 30 flat, going to be up in the top 5, 5th place.
And others have not yet rolled. Forrest Smith is not going to get a lap. Douglas Newbegin, though, is still waiting. He has not yet rolled off pit lane. And Andrew Santo as well is in the server, but has not yet taken a start, Hunter. So, well, there goes Newbigging.
Newbigging going, and Santo does have a little bit of experience with ARCA car. Forrest Smith does as well. Got an average finish of 6.6 from the Pro Series, the original Pro Series in the ARCA car from Season 1. So I would definitely keep an eye on Forrest Smith if he puts a lap up. If he doesn't put a lap up, it's going to be difficult to move from the back to the front.
It looks like he attempted a lap, but then ended up making a mistake, so he is going to have to start from the back. So no qualifying effort for him because he made an error. He's going to have to deal with it. Douglas Newbigging, though, he's coming to start his one and only lap.
Across the stripe for Newbigging, off into turn number 1, and right down to that blue line. And Finney, you've seen some drivers take a higher line, and I think raceability might be better up top. Big moment for the 71, and he keeps it under control, but that was almost a big one.
Yeah, it's a problem keeping it glued to that bottom line is that you have to rotate the car quite a bit, and then we've been talking about the back end. We've been seeing quite a few cars, even out of turn 4, can have a little bit of the back end stepping out, gets right up against the wall. You have to be careful for it. I don't think you hit the wall, so you should be good. The lap should count as good enough. Going to be pretty much smack dab midfield in 10th.
Not a bad place to be, better than starting anywhere 20th on back.
So 2 minutes left here in qualifying, and it looks like to my sight, everyone that has qualified has gotten a lap except for Forrest Smith. He did not get a qualifying lap. He did put one down. This wasn't legal. Got the wall. Andrew Santo in the 55 still has yet to go. Still has time to go, Finian, but looking more and more like he won't get the time to go.
Yeah, I was going to say you kind of want to start getting going now. It takes about 30 seconds. They're about to get a lap in, so you're going to have to leave with pretty much over a minute remaining, and it looks like he is not planning to, so he's electing to start from the back. Interesting choice. I guess he's expecting maybe some carnage, and will try to drive his way on through. But again, it's going to be tough. We got 22 cars entering tonight. Only 3 are going to be moving on to the main event, so there's not a whole lot of spots available, so it's going to be very aggressive, you can bet, especially for those top few spots near the front of the field.
Also gonna have to wonder how aggressive some of these guys are gonna be. Like, say JT Poole has a chance to make it to the main from the first heat, and then Mason Kane goes for the win on that heat, and then messes up and wrecks the car. I don't know how aggressive you guys are gonna want to be, knowing that you have a whole nother open ready to go after the first one. So I don't really think pushing the issue in the first open is going to be all that important. Second one, though, it's all or never, Kyle. So that's just my intention going into the heat if I were any of these guys.
Yeah, certainly it's going to be a conversation. The aggression level, how much are you willing to go? In these cars, it might be a little bit of a war of attrition in some senses, guys, because I imagine a lot of drivers are going to have issues getting loose, getting tight, smacking into something. We're dealing with a lot more power than we typically do, and with great power, Finian, comes great responsibility.
It's honestly a great way to phrase it. It fits really well because we're driving a car that a lot of these guys just do not have a lot of seat time. And again, this car is a couple generations old. We're on technically the Gen 7 car. This is 3 generations ago, guy. Not that many years ago. In fact, I think a lot of us grew up watching the actual Cup guys driving these cars around, but they drive so different to modern machinery. So it is definitely going to throw some of these guys for a loop that don't normally race it, unless they are normally racing this for fun. And we've been seeing a lot of guys in the service. I've been seeing so many clips of guys just wheeling these things around, and it's a fantastic car to drive, and we'll see here. So we got gridding coming up in just a little bit.
Yeah, this is our Roasted Gems Coffee starting grid. Race Fan starts your engines with a fresh cup of Roasted Gems Coffee. Choose from some of the finest coffee beans from Colombia and Peru, or try the blended flavors of French vanilla and hazelnut. Use discount code Area iRacing for 10% off your order at checkout at roastedgems.com. All right, maybe it's time to roll through our starting lineup then, Finian. Let's go kick things off with row number 1. It's JT Poole, the 21, fastest qualifier. The number 21 machine, Mason Kane, and his Toyota Corolla start on the outside of the front row.
And behind them, Michael Sturtle's going to be rolling off in 3rd place. Next to him, Rafe Slate's going to be rolling off in 4th.
In row number 3, it's going to be Connor Okresic in the number 14. Matthew Bell starts 6th in the number 43.
Back in 7th in the 77 is going to be Jacob Bell. Next to him in the 5, Garrett Grant in 8th place.
Row 5 is Michael Muhammad and Douglas Newbigging in the number 71. He starts in 10th.
Row number 6 is going to be Jeremy Miller on the inside in the 30 machine in 11th. Bryce Senizak next to him in the 09 in 12th place.
13th place is Cedric Hunter in the number 2/13. Brad Robertson will roll off 14th, the number 64.
Tyler Nichols will be rolling off in the 79 machine in 15. Next to him, Ryan Swan in P16 in the 20 car.
17th place is Alex Weaver in the number 45. And Ben Pierce starts 18th in the number 65 as field rolls off.
Carter Coops going to roll off in 19th in the 52 machine. Chris Rabel in the 49. Next to him, Rowdy Yeager, top 20.
21st place, Jacob Hudson alongside Forrest Smith in 22nd. And Andrew Santo will start from the tail of the field. Now, everyone's wondering, why are the numbers all messed up? Well, because we're in a hosted session that's password protected. Typically, numbers are set by the leagues. Obviously, these drivers had these numbers selected in their vehicle profile. That's why they don't match their liveries. So, going to be an interesting night, guys. But as far as the numbers go, we're going to be a little bit confused. So we'll just roll off the names as best we can in the All-Star Open. But 20 laps and then another 20 laps. And it's going to get pretty spicy to watch.
Oh, definitely it's going to get spicy to watch here. These guys are just, again, racing in to be in the main race, so they have a lot to be looking forward to here. Again, $100 potentially in their futures if they can make it to the main show, and I'm sure they can't wait. And we got 23 guys fighting for 3 spots, so you can bet it's going to be a lot of carnage here, potentially, over the next 40 laps.
Well, pace car is going to peel off here. It is time to go racing for 40 laps. After 20, we're going to pick 1. After 40, we'll pick 2. 3 drivers move on to the Area All-Star race. This is the Area All-Star Open from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Here we go. It's All-Star night. Green flag, and we're racing at Charlotte. Big slide for, I think that was Sturgill potentially that had that big moment there through 1 and 2.
A big slide for him. He's going to lose a few spots. Jacob Bell going to take advantage. Going to dive to the inside of him. Meanwhile, for second place, Rafe Slate, Matthew Bell, door to door off at turn 4, but it'll be JT Poole leading lap number 1.
Best thing Poole can see in his mirror right now, as Bell going to look low on Slate for that second spot. Single file for a good bit back. Then you got to go to Garrett Grant and Doug Newbigging battling for the 7th position.
This is getting single filed out. It's probably the best thing you can do right now with a car that you're not familiar racing, as we got a little bit more battling happening deeper in the field here. Chris Rabel in the 29. That's Cedric Hunter on the bottom, the Miller Lite car. Alex Weaver in the Subway car, real tight out of 4.
Yeah, really tight again out of that exit. Everyone's going to be right up against the wall, using up as much racetrack as possible. So everyone's going to converge there, and that's usually Calamity Corner. So keeping an eye on turn 4, because especially when the tires start to wear off and the handling starts to go, might see a few incidents off that corner.
Not sure what happened to Mason Kane, but he's fallen all the way back to last place. Not sure if there was a connection issue there or something, but he is all the way back.
Yeah, you see the graphic is empty, which means that there was a connection problem right when he was supposed to grid.
Started from the pits.
Yep. Down into turn 2 again. You see Matthew Bell tracking up the racetrack, trying to go the long way around here of Rafe Slate, and he'll take the momentum. And what will he be able to do with it? Drives right up to the rear bumper.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what Matthew Bell's going to do here, because he's not technically locked in, not really locked in, because if JT Poole gets to the spot at halfway, I believe it'll then go to Rafe Slate and Matthew Bell. They can make it go this way at the finish. That being said, though, he's got a lot of guys coming up and potentially in behind the Connor Kresick, Jacob Bell. They're going to try to catch these guys in a hurry. And then look at the back midfield, more brawling going on. 71 of Douglas Newbigging on that outside, 22 to the inside. It's Garrett Grant down the back straightaway.
Newbigging and Grant still going at it for 7th. Muhammad and Miller going at it for 9th. But up front, it's still Bell and Slate going at it. All aboard the bumper of Bell, trying to keep that 8 at bay.
Line of stern here off into turn number 1. And here comes Jeremy Miller in the Home Depot car to the bottom of the racetrack. Miller, we've seen him have flashes of brilliance throughout this season.
Whoa!
Ooh.
No, he was dirt tracking on the inside there, coming off turn 2, trying to push it again. This is what I was talking about in practice and in qualifying, seeing these guys trying to push the limit and you see the cars start to step out of them on them when they do. So you got to be very careful because you can throw your entire night away here if you're not careful. Sturgill in the 77, Jacob Bell, and Okrezik way up against the wall.
Yep, these three fighting for 4th, 5th, and 6th on the racetrack. We're seeing a bit of blinking issues here. So we had the issue with Mason Kane starting from pit lane. Jacob Bell blinked at the beginning. Miller blinked at the beginning, and Mohammed's been blinking on and off as well. So these cars are probably too fast for their internet to keep up with.
Yeah, I wonder what's causing that. If that's an iRacing wide issue right now, or if it's a hosted thing. Again, we typically race under league servers, so I'm not sure exactly what's going on there. But all clear and green on my side as far as I can tell. Lap 8 of 40. And that means that we're about 12 laps away next time by of selecting our first winner, which would be JT Poole. Now, the other thing I'm noticing, guys, is how wildly asymmetrical these cars are. It's fascinating to watch them from the front. Look how different the left and right sides are. But the right side of Okrezik's car is a little bit asymmetrical from what it's supposed to be because it's got some right side damage, Finian.
Yeah, the old Twisted Sister concept for these cars. You always kind of forget that because that was a relatively modern thing with the cars being symmetrical. You see some guys wiggling and bobbling off of turn 2.
Yeah, Bell was wiggling, and well, Matthew Bell, that is. Jacob Bell still rolling strong in 6th. A little further back here, it's Ryan Swan and Chris Rabel battling for 12. Swan on the outside of that, 29. Boy, it's getting real dicey here outside the top 10.
Yeah, real nice racing so far, though, guys. 10 laps without a yellow. With how wild the first couple laps were, I was kind of expecting that to happen pretty quick and woe us back down, but it's been pretty clean and green and lots of great racing. This is why we need power back NASCAR. Down the back straightaway, Cedric Hunter with a big run, but tucks back in for a moment behind Ryan Swan in that Dodge Intrepid.
Yeah, I was going to say, every time I see these cars race, I just wonder why did we lose a lot of the power we had, because this is some great stuff here. Seeing Bryce Senesek a little bit loose off of turn 4. Whoa, and Hunter trying to get off of the 20 of Ryan Swan, almost made contact with him coming off of turn 4. Senesek up ahead is going to peel in behind Rabel.
What am I doing? I was going to say, cut to JT Poole and what the message says on the hood. I strongly agree with this message.
Yep. Yes.
He's got the right idea.
He sure does.
I was going to say, he definitely is enjoying it right now because he's leading, and if he can keep it up for the next 8 laps or so, he'll be locked into the All-Star race.
Let's race these next season, boys. I love this. 20 Ryan Swan way up high. Trying to carry some speed. Down on the bottom underneath him is Tyler Nichols. And Ed Robertson in that purple car in the background.
Now, I'm really curious what's the game plan for a lot of these guys back here around 15th, 10th place, right? Because, you know, putting it nicely, these guys are not really fighting for much here. There's no points for tonight, so you're basically fighting for 3 spots. So what's the game plan here? Because there is that caution coming up here. I mean, obviously you're going to come down for tires, but you really need to be aggressive to try to get yourself some track position.
Yeah, someone back here is going to take 2. I just know it. It's going to come at some point, but yeah. We'll have to see who takes 2, if anyone does take 2, and how that will shape out for the next Open.
I also really admire all the template makers that made all the different body styles on this Chevy Impala. So creative. You almost can't tell that these cars were not designed to be basically one of 7 or 8 different manufacturers that we see on the racetrack. That Impala grille is so generic it can be anything, which probably isn't probably the biggest praise for an automobile.
No.
But
No, it really isn't, but it works really well. Because there's a Ford Taurus, a Dodge Charger, Dodge Intrepid, Chevy Monte Carlo, a Toyota Corolla, a Chevy Camaro. There's a giant hodgepodge of a bunch of cars. Side by side, though, off of turn 4, Michael Muhammad racing side by side. Garrett Grant. Oh, contact and into turn 1 wall. Hard for both of them.
That's going to allow another car to get by both of them. That is Chris Rabel. Chris Rabel got by both.
Goes on by, and I hate to cut away, but I want to see what happened. Let's see what happened. They just kind of cleared, the 22 kind of cleared himself here, guys.
Yeah, I think we're just trying to get the best turn in as possible. Went up to Muhammad, and luckily both of them kept it going in the right direction, so no caution here as we are approaching the first caution, which is the competition caution at the completion of lap 20. Oh, and someone spun onto pit road. I think it was Forrest Smith.
Oh, yeah, he definitely got some damage as well. Let's have a look. Tim Rat Market replay. Oh, he's going to get the attenuator here, too. Bam.
Oh!
Oh, wow. That's going to do it for him.
And it will. For a second, guys, here comes Rafe Slate and Matthew Bell back at it. And Sturgill creeping into the picture.
Yeah, Sturgill creeping in saying, hey, what's up, guys? I want a spot in the main show from 4th place. He's trying to get his way in here again. I don't think any of these guys are going to catch JT Poole, but really after that, it's going to be a big fight for those remaining spots here. Rafe Slate and Bell, they've been pretty nice with each other for the most part, other than going side by side occasionally. Now, you're going to see how Sturgill's going to interrupt that picture.
Yeah, Sturgill trying to set himself up for the next open here. Unless something drastic happens to JT Poole, this fight for second really going to be the fight for the front row potentially for this next open.
Big slides in the background here, but coming to 2 laps to go in the first of the 2 opens tonight. Matthew Bell safe for a moment. Ben Pierce, Ryan Swan trading spots. And Michael Muhammad with that damage is still somehow holding tough in 16th place, but I'm sure he'd like to come down pit lane and fix this. Look out tight out of 4.
Got a turn 4 for them. Who, meanwhile, for second, that battle starting to heat up. Matthew Bell going defensive up on the top side. Rafe Slate just a little bit offset to him, looking to the inside. Sturgill still waiting in the wings here.
Very interesting battle between these 3 drivers as JT Poole continues to navigate his way. 7 car length lead as they're coming off turn 4. Going to see the metaphorically white flag in there as, boy, Slay is trying to get around Bell.
And here comes Sturgill to the bottom, trying to steal both those spots away as those 2 are busy battling. The pairing, distracted by each other, is allowing a 3rd race car into the mix here.
Yeah, I was going to say, they were all sideways off of turn 2 here, and they still have half a race left to go after this. Slate still trying one more shot at seeing if he can get around the 43, but JT Poole going to lead him down to the checkers.
Checkered flag here for open number 1, and that was close between those 2, but JT Poole will advance to the area all-star race, the 100-lap feature. Matthew Bell second, Rafe Slate third, but they will have to continue their fight in the second half of this event.
And to add on to that, so JT Poole will have to pull into the pits. He will be parking it for the rest of this race and be going into the main server. Meanwhile, Matthew Bell will inherit the lead, and I'm really looking forward to this battle because we've got Matthew Bell, Rafe Slate, Michael Sturgill, all 3 of those cars really solid pace. I'm a bit surprised Connor Okrezik kind of fell off. I thought Okrezik would also join Sturgill near the front, but now has a second lease on life here in coming up on this restart. And what I'm really curious is now with the caution now, pit lanes open, guys. Do we expect quite a few guys to take 2 tires? Is 2 tires even viable?
2 tires necessarily wouldn't hurt if you're around 10th or so, like Cedric Hunter or Alex Weaver on back. 2 tires wouldn't hurt you, but one thing I'm looking here, don't count on Connor Horn to be in the night. It seems like Xfinity is not as fast as 10G, at least for Connor tonight, so I don't think he'll be able to show up.
I know that pain. Not anymore, though. Proverbial middle fingers as the field comes on down pit lane, and everyone's going to come, but 2 or 4 little stack up there in the background, looks like.
Yeah, Okrezik went into the back of Michael Sturgill. I think he felt he was going a little too slow in a pit lane.
So, as far as the 2 and 4 tires thing goes, with how much I saw people using the tires, I want 4. I don't care.
Oh, no, I definitely think 4 tires is definitely the better way to go. That being said, if you're around, 15th, 10th place, what we were talking about earlier, you're not really fighting for much, right?
Drive through them. Get that Kyle Busch restart and go for it, baby.
See here, does anyone get creative with the strategy, or is it going to be pretty much 4 tires for most drivers? We saw someone with 2, Ryan Swan, going to play it a little risky, going to go up to 7th place with that move.
Yeah, he's the only one
to do so. Yeah.
I would have thought more people would go with 2 tires.
Ooh.
Well, it's also, sorry, Finian, real quick. It's also not an even 20-20. It's really going to be more like 20 and 15. So this second open is real short.
And Douglas Newbigin actually benefiting from the pit stops. And same thing with Connor Kresik. They both ended up leapfrogging Rafe Slate and Michael Sturgill at slightly slower pit stops. So Kresik up to second, Douglas Newbigin up to third. Slate will draw back from second to fourth, and Sturgill from third to fifth.
Hey, Finian, I have an organizational question. Is it possible to select caution laps do not count on an asphalt track?
I don't think that's limited to dirt tracks. I'm not too sure.
I'm just curious. I just thought about how we're splitting 2 races into one, but I suppose it makes sense like this too.
I guess they didn't want to just make it so that it was constant cautions. We wouldn't be here all night.
Well, so far so good. The only one has been the competition yellow. Is Hunter. We get back to the restart here next lap. Hunter, pick me your 2 favorites. Who wins this race? Is it going to be the front 2?
No. I'm going to go with
Okay.
Okrezik and Newbigin.
Interesting.
I'm going to pick Matthew Bell to move on, and also I'm going to throw Rafe Slate in there. I think.
Darn.
Sorry.
I was gonna pick that. Let's see. Who do I got left? Did someone say Okrezik?
Nope.
Okay, I'll say Connor Kresik. I was expecting him to, again, be a little bit stronger in the first part of the race, but now he's got the track position. I'm going to see if he can fire off, so I'm going to say him. And I guess we'll go with Jacob Bell in the 77. He's been awfully quiet. I think he might have what it takes.
Good choice. We're going to pick a real quiet guy to win the race.
Listen, hey, you never know. Things might pop off and he'll blaze through.
He's done nothing. He's going to win. I'm just kidding. I'm joking. Jacob Bell's not a bad shot at all, especially starting in that outside lane. I like the outside for these restarts because you can get up and rip the outside lane up onto the back straightaway and avoid the stack up on the bottom. Pace car peels off, coming back to the restart this time through with 16 laps left in the All-Star Open. Here we go. Green flag back in the air. Good launch by the 43.
Oh, and some contact.
Oh,
It's hip check from Matthew Bell to Connor Kresik. Not sure that was on purpose or him just trying to get the power down. Well, that checked up the entirety of the outside lane. So Douglas Newbigin's on through, and now Sturgill's fighting for third.
We get tighter off 2.
Mason
Car
Kane's in the wall.
It's Kane.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, is right.
Matthew Bell up top, and here comes Douglas Newbigin out of nowhere. He started in 10th place, mind you, now leading the race.
Not a shock to me.
Wow, this is wild. The speeds they're carrying.
Oh, wreck in the background. Almost a wreck. Chris Rabel went around sideways with some help, I think, from Bryce Senizak.
We stay green. Newbigin under fire from Bell, and now Sturgill 90. Nobody picked the 90 car. That's a surprise.
I thought someone did pick him. I would have picked Michael Sturgill. I thought someone already picked him.
Nope.
I guess I wasn't paying attention, but he's looking pretty good at the moment. Up to second. Matthew Bell now, still with some decent damage to the right rear of his car. He's going to try to fight that outside lane.
You see the 2 teammates behind this battle for second. Okrezik and Slate going at it for 4th at the moment. But boy, Newbigin, racing like this is a super speedway.
Oh, Chris Rabel and Andrew Santo going to be around in the background.
First real yellow of the evening, and corners pushed in and destroyed on the Chris Rabel car and the Andrew Santo number 55. How did it happen? Here is a look.
Yeah, let's start with Santo here on the top side.
Ooh.
So he already lost it and then had a little help spinning it around. Is that Carter Coop?
Yeah, I think so. Big hits to the sides of those cars. It will slow the field on down and bunch us up for what will be under 10 laps to go restart. Anyone want to revise their picks?
Michael Sturgill.
Well, okay.
Gonna swap him out with Jacob Bell because I thought someone already picked him.
I'm gonna keep mine.
I'm going to roll with mine. I'm going to unpick Rafe Slate, and I'm going to pick Newbigin because the front row is the best row.
I mean, can't necessarily argue with that.
No, you can't. Although my front row went backwards last time, so.
Well, bad news for Douglas Newbig and Matthew Bell. Then.
That's the tough part about racing is sometimes you don't pass people.
Let's say, good bit of these guys are still almost doubled up. They're ready to go back to it already.
Yeah, they're
They don't want more cost.
they definitely are feeling the impatience. Jacob Bell's on pit lane, Ed Robertson, Ryan Swan. Not sure that's going to really do you a lot of good at this stage of the race, but why not?
Can't hurt. I mean, if you're already back there, you might as well do something. Because something unorthodox. Because basically, for a lot of you guys, and why I guess they're so antsy is because they got 12 laps left. That's going to determine if they're going to go racing for another 100 laps. Or going to be watching the rest of the stream from their couch.
Finian went off the Jacob Bell bandwagon so fast. Went from I'm going to pick him to win to you might as well do something in the span of like 6 laps. Wow. Fairweather friend, but clearly.
I'm sure Jake's going to like that.
It's fine.
Well, let's see if it will be fine. Coming to 11 laps to go, we should get the lights off. The drivers really are feeling impatient, aren't they? They are still doubled up. They're chomping
Especially
at the
those
bit.
where, I would say those where Okrezik, really third on back, kind of obvious to say that, but really those third on back, they're itching to get back going because we don't have too many laps left. And this next restart could be the last one and their only chance at navigating their way inside the top 2.
Well, we're going to get another time around also, so it's going to be 9 laps to go at the restart.
Wow.
Yeah, long yellow here, huh?
Well,
So we're going to drive these guys' nerves up even more.
Well, the thing is like, yeah, the $100 is great, but I think they just want to drive, and so there's so many drivers here that they know that this is it. Their night's over after this, and they're having fun right now.
I mean, this is the ARCA cars, so we do have ARCA officials, I believe,
Oof.
where one car spin is 15 laps under caution.
I got to dump all the speed to dry on the track.
Yep. Man, imagine if Subarus raced in NASCAR. He'd be cleaning up oil all day.
Oh, that's a weird thought of Subaru stock car.
I think it'd be pretty dope.
What model would you use? I guess the Impreza.
Yeah, the WRX.
Need a truck though.
The Crosstrek. I had a Crosstrek as a rental car a couple weeks ago at COTA. Not a great car. Not a fan. This is coming from a guy that owns a car that has a Subaru Heart, and I wish to transplant it. So,
I mean, because when you get a Subaru, you get the good Subarus, not the SUVs.
you ever seen that TikTok where it's like the Subaru commercial voice, and it's like Subaru, it can take you here and here, and it's just like pictures of cars on lifts, like on the side of the road. Oh man, I joke. They're probably great cars, but I didn't enjoy my Crosstrek because it didn't have a keyless fob. It was just the key, one. And it had very invasive safety systems that were very obnoxious because in Austin people drive like idiots.
Could you not turn them off?
You probably could, but I couldn't find the right place to tickle to get it to turn off, So
Well, that's an interesting way of going about it.
I was gonna say.
by the way, look at this classic matchup here. The Home Depot Chevrolet versus the Miller Lite Dodge. These two cars had some run-ins back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Think of the
This car
2007
is-
500.
This car is cursed with the 3 instead of the 2.
It is, though.
At least he's matching. Well, like half the rest of the field where their numbers are not matching.
Yeah, appreciate that, guys.
I'm just looking at the leaderboard. Garrett Grant's 11th, and he was caught up in that little run-in with Michael Mohammed. So
11th ain't going to do it, Hunter. You got to be P2 or better. 9 laps. That's all you're going to get. Will we go green to the end? That's the other big question. Pace car's off. Here we go. 9 laps left in the Area All-Star Open. Good launch by the 29 of Newbegin. Sturgill up to second. Bell on defense here.
Yeah, couldn't say the same for Matthew Bell with his start. Pretty poor start for him on the outside lane. Will at least hold on to P3 from a charging Rafe Slate on the inside lane. So Bell now up to third, but again, obviously we mentioned it's going to be second or bust essentially for most of these drivers.
Back here, Kane and
trouble! Kane
Miller.
gets turned!
Oh, no!
Across the field. He's going to get clobbered again. And there's the caution finally.
The closest side-by-side battle on the track ended with calamity and burnouts from Mason Kane. Did not win, but gonna get it pointed in the right direction.
Won a free trip back to the hauler.
Still going. Still going as we're looking at a Simrep Market replay.
Just bobbled up, got turned.
And they got ran into from behind and lifted his rears off the end.
Yeah, Weaver nowhere to go, Senesac nowhere to go. Car went through the grass. I think that was Ryan Swan. Almost got caught up in that as well, trying to avoid it.
Oh, the 62 just clipped him. Senesac couldn't quite slow down in time, but here's what Alex Weaver saw. Wow. Watch this again. Yeah, right there, just bobbles a little bit, and that chase up the hill is what did him in. And then bounced it airborne right here. Oh.
Picked them up off the ground.
That's the way those cars are built.
Yeah. Well, not much that Bryce Senesac could have done. Here's what he saw. Track didn't clear itself as quick as he was hoping, I think.
No, and with the way these guys are running, I think you just gotta have to hope for the best, especially for considering how few laps are on the board. It's just kind of stick your throttle in it and just kind of hope you make it out in one piece. For the most part, most of the field's still going. We still got 16 drivers left on the racetrack. Everyone else in the pit's getting damage repairs and effectively out of it.
I have a revised pick.
Again?
There's barely any laps left.
My revised pick is Newbegin and Sturgill.
Well, I even forgot who I picked. Hang on one sec. I was going to try to make a trade. I forgot who I even got.
They didn't pick the guys that are going to do it, which are Newbegin and Sturgill.
Oh, no, I got Sturgill again.
I just
Yeah,
picked
after
them.
your
forgot.
revised pick.
You forgot, so you give them up. They go back in the pool if you forget if you chose them.
Is that how sports teams work?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think
That's how Kyle's fantasy picks work.
I think mine were Newbegin and Okresic.
That sounds right.
I believe those were mine too. But
I
I
know
was
you
the first on
definitely had
Newbegin. I was the first on Newbegin, and then everyone else is just jumping aboard.
Well, too bad.
I was expecting a decent comeback there. Looking through here, how about Cedric Hunter jumping up to 6th place from 13th? Alex Weir from 17th to 7th. They've all made decent climbs forward, but they're running out of laps to really do anything with that.
And Grant moved up 3 spots from that last restart as well. So if the seas continue to part ways for Garrett Grant, he might have a shot here. But like you said, time is ticking. Laps are dwindling here.
Time is ticking. Isn't it? The clock is ticking. Time doesn't really tick.
Yeah, I was going to say, it would be, I guess, a clock.
My voice is dying on me, boys. I can keep myself entertained and I can get through this one. So, I'm leaning forward. Let's go, boys.
I was going to say, these extra pace laps are not helping at all either.
No, the pace laps are... There are some tracks that are like shockingly short cautions and others that are like, why?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they would have... because I know there's the setting for the extra caution laps. I don't think they normally have it enabled for area.
Does anybody do that setting on purpose?
I don't think so. But I guess, there's also people, you also wouldn't think that people use light mode for Discord, and there are
God, I forget that exists. I also just found out that Reddit by the way, is all their third-party apps are going away on July 1st because they're making a change to their API that would make it similar apps cost about $20 million a month to run.
Oh my God.
So RIP, because I use Reddit is Fun as my Reddit app, and that's going away. So
I've just bit the bullet and just been using the default Reddit app. It's not that bad.
I'm just used to the other one, and I don't like change. So I like it like the good old days, 1,000 horsepower Gen 4 cars, boys. That's how I like it. I like my Reddit on Windows XP Dell Inspiron 4200, and I like my white New Balance shoes.
Oh boy.
And like big hair on my wife, and a white picket fence, and a golden retriever, and a cold Miller Lite.
Extremely specific.
Well, one thing specific is Connor Horn wishing that he had internet back. He's outraged that there's an outage at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I remember a couple of years back, my power went out and it didn't come back on for a full 24 hours.
Oh, what?
And that was
Jesus.
Yeah, that was during the summertime.
I haven't taken a
that was
shower
fun.
in 6 days. Not
Sounds like
because I
skill
couldn't,
issue.
just because I was at a festival site, didn't want to take an RV shower because that's gross. I'd rather sit in my own filth than shower in someone else's. Anyway, 3 laps to go in the Area All-Star Open. I'm sorry, I'm just having a giggly night. Here we go, green flag. 2 drivers move on to the Area All-Star race, and it's time to pick them.
You can see Douglas Newman get away and try to drive away from any of the carnage in behind. Meanwhile, Sturgill's got a mirror full of Matthew Bell and Rafe Slade, who are all fighting for the same spot.
That battle for second's going to be the spicy one, Hunter. Big move here on the back straight.
Here comes Slade trying to look low. Not going to be enough there. Sturgill on the outside, Bell on the inside as the 2 Solid Rock Performance drivers watch on behind, and Cedric Hunter.
Across the stripe, 2 laps to go. 1 lap to safety for Newbegin. Behind him, it's a hornet's nest. Here comes Bell.
I'm wondering really if any of these guys are going to be willing to just use a chrome horn to try to take out their competition and move themselves on forward. But it looks like Sturgill gets a great run off the corner, trying to drive away Matthew Bell, going to settle in behind. Rafe Slate, Connor Kresick, they've been waiting patiently, but they're running out of time here.
Bell sliding up high.
Oh,
towards
slide
the
Sturgill out of
wall.
control. White flag this time by, and here comes Bell to the outside.
Oh, and here goes Rafe Slate passing the grass, 3 wide into turn 1,
That's
looking
not
on the
gonna work,
inside.
they're gonna crash.
Gonna door 90 of Michael Sturgill and Bell out of the way. He's up to second, but he can't save it. Here comes Cedric Hunter.
Oh
Cedric
my
Hunter
goodness.
taking over second. A lot's happening on this last lap. And here comes Kresick. Kresick's looking low for the final transfer spot. Can he do it?
Drove in deep to the rear bumper. He starts
Oh,
him.
no!
They crash, and woohoo!
my God. Oh my goodness! Alex Weaver exceeded on the last lap.
And Robinson makes it in. What?
He makes it through the transfer. Absolute calamity coming out of turn 4. Cars are flipping over. Upside down. This is insane.
What
Can't
just
believe what I've
happened?
just seen. How bad do you want it?
What just happened? That was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in 5 years of doing this.
Ed Robertson took the white flag in P12.
Oh my goodness.
What just happened? Hold on, just watch this from. Hold on, how do I get a shot of this?
This is just. Yeah, they're right here. Oh my gosh.
All you have to do is finish second.
Gentlemen, how bad do you want to be in the All-Star race? Because we had about 15 different 15 different times second place was exchanged on that last lap alone.
I just can't.
Hey, he's probably thinking, oh, I don't have a shot at all. Oh, wait, here they go. Here's the wreck. Oh, made it through past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ooh, got a door. And he's on through.
Oh my. Wow. All right.
That about sums it up right there.
I think it does. So results aren't going to help us a whole lot because we're missing JT Poole out of it to tell the whole story. But JT Poole is going to move on to the area all-star race. So will Douglas Newbegin and Ed Robertson somehow, after what was the most hilarious, chaotic 10 seconds I think I've ever had in 5 years of SimTV, boys. That was honestly hilarious, but also got a feel for Cedric Hunter. He was there, just got turned around. Michael Sturgill as well, but they won't make it to the All-Star race.
I was gonna say I'm genuinely amazed that like a lot of our picks just all ate the dust in the last few corners of that race. And Ed Robinson out of nowhere.
I'm surprised no one revised their picks after that.
I did revise my picks. I just didn't have time to tell you because they were all crashing. So Ed Robertson and Douglas Newbegin are my picks. So I hope I'm right. So Hunter, while we're sitting here, what's the strategy now? We've got our 3 drivers in. What's up next?
Now they're going to have a little practice session for the guys that have made it into the All-Star race, and kind of about the same that we had for the Open. So it'll be a little practice session, qualifying, and then we'll just let them rip for 50, then a quick yellow for halfway, and then the next 50 will determine the winner of the All-Star race.
Well, we're going to take a break for a few minutes. We'll have a timer up on the screen for when things return, so go grab a cold one, crack it open, and continue to watch some of the most fun I've had watching stock car racing in a long time. We'll be back in a few minutes. Stick with us here on SimTV. Tonight, 15 drivers will lay it all on the line to go for $100 in Area's All-Star Race. Pick one of the list, but they're all race winners and past champions of this series, all going for glory at Charlotte Motor Speedway with cars that we all want to drive. 1,000 horsepower, Generation 4 NASCAR stock cars for 100 laps around the American Center of Racing here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Welcome back to Sim TV. I'm Kyle Heyer, joined by Finian DeCuna and Hunter Sleppy, while my voice is on its way out. Not DJ Clark. I'll fix that a little later as we get set for our 100-lap race, guys. Finian, this is a big night for a lot of drivers trying to steal $100 and go for glory in 2023.
Oh yeah, they're all trying to see what they can do. Again, they go up against some stiff competition. Again, drivers, race winners from all three of the series here in area, as well as former All-Star race winners. The best of the best, essentially, duking out here for $100 and a lot of bragging rights.
Not to mention a few of those all-star race competitors tonight just raced their way in from the Open. JT Poole, Douglas Newbigging, and Ed Robertson in the most shocking fashion made their way into the All-Star Open. So they already have a little bit of practice under their cars already. They already know how their cars can handle in the middle of the turn, the exit, entry in. But these guys, like Hartz, Knoll, Springer, and Martin, they got a little taste of what the competition might be like tonight. Although we only have 15 drivers in, the 17 of Jordan Martin is definitely one to keep an eye out for because he won the All-Star race a season ago.
Well, he's gone behind the wall, guys, so I'm just joking. As Jake Nichols accelerates up onto the back straightaway for his qualifying effort. 1 lap is all you get. Ryan Hart's currently the quickest. Seth Noel, Ricky Springer, and Jordan Martin, the rest of the drivers that have put down time so far. Here comes Jake Nichols.
Yeah, that beautiful number 73 car rocketing off of turn 4 to take the green flag. Again, we know Jake Nichols is a man that has a lot of speed. Question is, does he have a lot of speed in the Gen 4 Cup car? Does that translate over? I would say it definitely does, but I think he's going to be definitely in the mix with Ryan Hartz and Seth Noel up in the top of the charts. And not only 65 thousandths of a second off of Ryan Hartz, there were also some guys we saw tied at the top of the timesheets in practice. I'll be curious to see if we tie here, but Jake Nichols coming off of turn 4 across the line. Is he up on the top?
Yes.
And by 23 thousandths of a second ahead of Ryan Hartz.
There's Cameron Hearn in the 4. Hearn has also had a pretty solid run in these ARCA cars back from season 1 in the Pro Series, the original Pro Series, and that car, well, the series became not series anymore, but Marathon talks to revitalize the ARCA cars and this car specifically. From what we saw in the Open, I thought it was pretty good racing, but we'll have to see how this All-Star race goes with 15 drivers going for the $100 prize of being the winner of the All-Star race. Could it be Cameron Hearn?
I love how fast these things look like they're going off into turn number 1. Here comes Cameron Hearn across the stripe. It's going to be a 29.980. That'll put him in 3rd. And Greg Mitchell will be the next driver on track.
I mean, they definitely are hauling the mail. I think on the back straightaway, I saw one car go 195 miles an hour down into turn 3, and you just don't get that nowadays. You get close, but not quite.
Well, not on speed alone. The draft definitely helps, and even with these cars, they can go over 200 with the draft going into the turn. Greg Mitchell will see how he does for Fazekas Motorsports in the number 2 car.
Across the stripe, here comes Greg Mitchell off into turn number 1. Off throttle, a little bit of brake. You have to use both pedals. What a thought. Slowing the car down into turn 1. Big bobble out of turn 2, though. Held on to it.
Also, and not just 2 pedals, but you also need a lot of finesse to get this thing around here in a decent amount of time. It's not easy just putting your foot to the floor and driving it out. You got to modulate it throughout the corner and modulate your steering inputs because you can easily end up in the wall. I think Mitchell is speaking which just tapped the wall. I don't think that'll count against him. 30.2. Going to be in 5th.
Brad Slaughter, not a valid lap, got into the wall. That will leave Alan Elwood next up in the Simrap Market car, Hunter, as he gets up onto the track.
Good to see Alan Elwood again. He does Tuesday nights now, the Truck Series, after having his child. So, unfortunately, he was limited to 1 race a night, and honestly didn't know if he would be in this race heading into the week, but nonetheless, good to see Alan Elwood on the track. Could he put up a pole time and a challenge for Jake Nichols?
We're also hearing that Connor Horn has made it in the nick of time.
Oh, wow.
So he should get at least into the race. Maybe not a qualifying lap, but he should get there.
Big question for Connor Horn. Will his internet last? That's going to be the next thing because he's had all these issues. I hope for him the best. I'm not saying that I hope he doesn't, but it's really questionable that it took him so long to finally be able to get a stable internet connection. Question now is going to be, is it stable? I guess we always talk about car reliability in real life. For sim racing, internet reliability seems to be the problem sometimes.
Elwood, 29.976, third quick. James Scioli working his way around in the number 7. Here he comes out of turn 4. Look at him working that wheel. Love watching the hands inside the cockpit and across the stripe at a 29.960. P3 again.
Solid job for him. Gonna put himself up near the ore. The top 3 cars separated by less. Actually, the entire top 6 all separated by less than a tenth of a second. Love to see it. How stiff the competition is. Travis Beckner now warming up here, coming to take the green flag next time by in his Toyota Corolla.
Yeah,
Whoa.
this is, he is sideways.
Lock it down. You get a reset
sideways.
here. You got time to do it.
I know it's
Doesn't have
Japanese, but drifting's not really the fastest way around
Oh,
here.
wow. Harden had a handful of wheel out of turn 4, didn't he?
Managed to save it and keep this attempt going. He's got to be careful here because you really want to prevent the car from stepping out as much as possible because you're just going to lose quite a bit of time. Oh, he's going to step out of turn 2. Hang on.
That's going to hurt the lap time quite a bit.
It's fun to watch, though.
Oh, it's definitely fun to watch, but it's definitely not
Turn
fast.
4.
Watch the hands again. Little corrections back to the right. More stable that time. And it's going to be a 30.636. That'll put him P9. Oh! Well, test out the new damage model while we're at it. There it is.
Oh.
And nothing. Thanks, iRacing.
Whoa. That's something.
Oh, my
Oh, boy,
goodness.
what a night it is.
Do you remember when the
tonight.
new damage model worked really well for like a month?
Yeah, supposedly in the update tomorrow, they're reducing the strength of some of the components of this car in particular, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, needs
I
more
know
than
the
that.
truck series is going to have a new damage model.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Oh, boy.
that's gonna be big. I'm surprised that the trucks are getting it, not the Xfinity cars, but
Here
can't
comes
complain.
Travis Beckner into turn 1 on attempt number 2.
Yeah, I'm sure he's not going to want to test out the new damage model on this particular lap. Second attempt from gets sideways. Hang on it again.
This might be another 36 from what we saw with Ricky Harden, excuse me, but this car is actually another throwback to James Hilton from 2018, the last car that Hilton ever drove. And again, Beckner has experience here in the ARCA car as he just bobbles it down the straightaway. 30.4 can be good enough for 9th.
And that is all that will qualify. No Slaughter, no JT Poole, no Ed Robertson, and no Newbegin. And maybe Connor Horn is not able to connect. We thought he would, but we've been told maybe not.
Oh, I jinxed him before we even started.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Ah.
I just wanted to hear him say, well, our car was as rocky as Xfinity 10G today. In and out.
You know, I don't think that they've thought that drivers could use it the other way, so perhaps they should be cautious with that. Well, let's head down to the racetrack here, and of course, done a couple reads tonight, but we've had a couple SimWrap Market replays also. Race fans, be sure to visit simwrapmarket.com for custom iRacing paint scheme templates that are simple to use and help you stay more focused on the racetrack. A lot of good SimWrap Market liveries here in the field, including the 15 of Ricky Harden. As the field grids up. So, with 16 drivers in the field, guys, it's going to get spread out, and it's going to come down to your technique over the course of the run and how much you can save the tires, most notably the rear tires, Finney, and those are going to be the ones you'll be chasing into the heat of the day here.
Oh, absolutely. And also just saw an interesting note. Travis Beckner just put in chat, I hate this car. So I don't think he likes the way the car that he has with him tonight. And also of note, too, JT Poole, he just left. He manually disconnected from the server. He just reconnected. I don't know if he's got enough time to join before they get off for the grid.
Well, gonna have another minute, most likely. If this race goes green from start to finish, it's about a 50-minute show tonight. But again, we're gonna have that yellow flag at lap number 50 no matter what. And the winner gets $100.
You could buy a good steak.
The most expensive steak I ever had was $92, and it was in Las Vegas. And it was an excellent steak.
I can beat that. I had one that was, wait, how much was it? Hang on, give me 1 second. I think it was like 200 something.
Wow!
Yeah.
What's the most expensive steak you've ever had, Hunter?
About $26.
It was a Japanese Wagyu steak. It was really good.
Well,
I'm glad, and the best part, I didn't pay for my dad, so it was for my graduation dinner. I was like, "Yep, don't mind if I do, I guess."
And $100 steak sounds pretty good right now. I don't want to go anywhere.
I was gonna say, you want to spend $100 on a steak right now, too?
No. I want to think about eating a $100 steak right now. We're awaiting the green flag here for the area all-star race. It is 100 laps with a halfway break at lap number 50. JT Poole is in. He was the driver, one of the three that qualified in. The others were Douglas Newbegin and Ed Robertson in the area open that we just had a couple minutes ago with quite the finish. And now the field is awaiting the green flag. Scioli, Hearn, Mitchell, Newbegin, Slaughter, and Robertson still yet to grid.
I think they're trying to run on the clock, trying to see if we can get Connor in. And yeah, he was saying that it worked until he got into iRacing. Is it or not?
Well, that's typical. Most things do work until you get into iRacing.
I remember back in the day having like really spotty connection because I had my router on the other side of the house, and man was that not fun, and man I love it Ethernet.
Hardwired gigabit, baby. Oh, I forgot who Astound Broadband is my provider. I forgot because I care so little now because it just works. Isn't that great? I can forget about my internet because it's awesome.
I was going to say, that's how you know you have a good internet provider, when you forget who your internet provider is.
Because it just does what it needs to do. That's all it needs to do. Thanks for joining us here tonight. If you can tell my voice is on its way out, it's because I came back from Grid Life's biggest festival, Grid Life Midwest. Don't know why I lost my voice. I wasn't partying with the 20,000 people there, but just being in the area tired me out. So I've got some exciting news that's coming about an upcoming event that I'm announcing. I haven't cleared whether or not I can share it yet, so I'm not going to share it, but very, very excited to be a part of an upcoming motorsports event at the end of June, and it involves a very large hill. So if that narrows it down.
I guess that's being subtle.
I mean, I haven't cleared that I can say it, but I can say it involves a very large hill at the end of June, and one may say that you could climb it. So we might be doing one of those things. So, Roasted Gems Coffee starting lineup, Finian. Here we go. Starting lineup for the area all-star race. Jake Nichols on the front row in the 73. Ryan Hartz will start second in the number 3.
Back in row number 3, is row number 2, sorry. It's going to be James Scully in P3. In the number 7 machine, Alan Elwood's going to be rolling up next to him in the number 10 car in 4th.
And starting in 5th, it's Cameron Hearn in the number 4. Seth Noel, the area 500 winner this year. He starts 6th in the number 1.
Greg Mitchell's going to be rolling off in the 2 machine on the inside in 7th place. Next to him on the outside, Ricky Springer in the number 51 in 8th place.
Travis Beckner starts 9th in the number 28. Ricky Harden 10th in the number 15 Impala.
Moving on back to 11th is going to be Jordan Martin, and then JT Poole, your area open, the first driver to get in through the area open, going to be starting in 12th place next to him.
Douglas Newbegin starts 14th. He is one of our drivers that qualified in from the open. And Brad Slaughter Jr. starts 15th in the number 8. And Ed Robertson, the last qualifier in, after driving through the crash at the end of the open, he is in the show, battling for $100 here tonight in the area all-star race. Finian, take your pick. Who you got winning this thing?
Who do I got winning this thing? Oh boy, I think I'm gonna pick. You know what, Ryan Hartz. I think you definitely seen him. He's had the speed in the past, and I think with the $100 on the line, I think you may see him be a little bit more aggressive than usual.
Hunter, who you got?
Scioli.
I'm going to take Jake Nichols. I'm a fair weather friend. The leader, the 73. He's your pole sitter for this race. 100 laps, $100. The 2023 Area All-Star Race is underway.
Oh, Hearn.
Trouble already. Travis Beckner and Greg Mitchell get together, and Mitchell's down on the apron before they even get to turn 1.
Yeah, it all started extremely poor start for the 73 of Jake Nichols as they all race off at turn 2.
Very interesting start indeed. That brings Alan Elwood to second. Seth Knoll now up to third, looking for second.
Love the mid-2000s Camry logos on this Seth Noel car. That's a nostalgic body style for me. As they head off into turn number 1, big cut across the nose of Jake Nichols is Seth Noel, but Jake went backwards quickly. Maybe we weren't expecting that, but JT Poole on a mission early.
Yeah, just really struggled to get the power down on the start, now paying the consequence for it. Cameron Hurton rocketing around the outside of the 73s, up against the wall, up against the high side, trying to see if he can make that outside lane work. So far, so good for him at the moment. Also, update on the 2, Greg Mitchell. That car is okay. It didn't hit anything. The most damaged part of that car is the tires, but it is quite a bit ways back. He's going to have to hope for a caution early on to get him back in this.
Look at Elwood on the outside, Hunter.
Here. I was say Elwood, massive run on the outside, going to take over as the race leader from Hartz. Now Seth Knoll looking to the outside for second. Meanwhile, Jake Nichols and Hearn battling for fourth.
Yeah, Jake Nichols fell back early, but will he have the longevity to outdrive these drivers later in the race? Look at Hearn bobbling up the racetrack. He was in the grass right at the launch of the green flag. But now line astern into turn 1. Oh, trouble, car in the wall.
Hearn in the wall and a little bit loose on entry into 1. He's going to have to back off it. He's going to lose the spot to Jake Nichols. He gets a decent run off the corner and on the back of Ryan Hartz.
He checked up right here going into the turn.
Ooh. Yeah, just a little scrape. That should be all right.
You can see right there, there's Jake Nichols getting past Ryan Hartz for third place. Cameron Hearn under attack. Ricky Springer trying to make some noise as he's lurking to the inside.
Not to mention Seth Knoll still all over the bumper of race leader Alan Elwood as we continue to look at Hearn and Springer fight for fifth on the track. And now here comes Knoll looking to the inside, heading into 3. Gonna have a run and try to stick it, but Elwood's gonna have the run on the outside.
Side by side,
Whoa.
Big bubble from Elwood on the outside. Noel takes the advantage. And back to the top spot goes the 1, as he did in the Area 500 a couple months ago. Seth Knoll to the top.
And Knoll to the top. Elwood going to have to peel in behind and try to hold on to it. Jake Nichols up in the third, chasing both of these guys down. Slowly but surely. Again, we always have to keep an eye on Jake Nichols because we know he always plays the long game. And you can bet, especially with the way these guys have been driving, the tires are going to fall off pretty quickly.
Whoa. How about Slaughter there, slinging it sideways on the bottom, start all the way in the back and is up to 7th already. He's got something for the competitors as Scioli and JT Poole go at it for 8th. JT Poole, winner of the first Open to make it into the All-Star race and trying to work his way closer towards the top 5.
Down the back straightaway, Scioli started this race 3rd, fallen as far back as 9th, and is just starting his recovery drive back up inside the top 10, but got to get by a couple other drivers, including Brad Slaughter Jr. and Ricky Springer to do that. Ricky Harden high out of turn 4. And look at Slaughter peeking underneath Ricky Springer for P6 up front. The lead is settled. Seth Knoll, Elwood, Nichols, your top 3.
Yeah, Slaughter really, like Hunter mentioned, this is really good progress for him so far, and he's going to get a fantastic run out of turn 2 here. Down the back straight, will easily get by the 51, not so much around the 3, who's blocking him.
He gets turned!
Slaughter tries to thread the hole. He gets turned around. Can he save it?
Oh, wow, what a save. He's still trying to save it. That could have been way worse for Slaughter. And we saw there, that was a perfect angle, Kyle, perfect cut. He tried to clear himself because he had such a great run through turn 2. Tried to clear himself off of the 51, and it just wasn't enough.
That was wild. Right here. Gets turned. Does an excellent job. Everyone around him did a great job, too. Letting him gather it back up, and he'll live to see another lap.
I'm a bit surprised to see that kind of aggression this early on again. I mean, there's a decent amount of laps on the board, not a whole lot, but a decent amount. You have to play patient. Well, the 51 in the wall.
Ricky Springer, that's big damage, I think. He's going to hit pit lane.
Well, to take a look and see what happened with. Oh, he blinked.
Yep, internet problem for him as the leaders are doing battle. Here they come. Elwood again to the outside of Knoll and takes it back.
Wow, he got a massive run out of turn 2. Either that or Knoll got really poor exit. I think probably a combination of both.
More of the former.
Yeah. So Elwood to the lead, Knoll in second. And here comes Jake Nichols creeping into the picture, riding behind these guys. That battle for the lead is far from subsided.
I'll say great run here for Elwood. Lost the lead, got it back. Strong showing here in the first 10 laps, but Seth Knoll still not going away just yet. Jake Nichols buying his time, letting the two play battle, and Cameron Hearn closing in on this. So we might have a 4-car battle for the lead in the next 10 laps or so.
Yeah, my question earlier was, is Jake Nichols just going to save and attack later when the tires start to wear out? And that seems to be what he's doing. Last time by, the second quickest car of this front group. Cameron Hearn, though, is basically as fast as the leader, Alan Elwood. So I think we're right. Cameron Hearn is going to close in and make this a 4-horse race for first place, but 12 laps down and 88 to go.
Yeah, thing is, you want to push, but you don't want to push too hard. Now, obviously, finding that line is the really hard part. And Jake Nichols, we know, has usually been able to do pretty well at straddling that line. Cameron Hearn, though, he's trying to charge to catch up to these guys, so he's going to be using up his tires quite a bit. Jake Nichols riding all over the back bumper of the number 1. And I'm curious to see how long he's willing to do this. If he's going to try to get on by or just kind of sitting behind, because Elwood's not too far up the road.
He's just going to stay behind, as this is the same strategy that he's done for not only every race that he's been in the area, but back in season 2, where he slowly marched his way through the field in Atlanta and went on to win the All-Star race. But in a different spot here, he started a little further back in that race. This one had a closer starting position, obviously being on the pole, but still buying time, trying to force the one of Knoll to overdrive the tires, which I was going to bring up with Slaughter, because he made a quick round. It looked like he had a car for the top 5, and then had that bobble going into 3, slid the tires a good bit, so his tires are going to be shot. They've got to be shot already, and we're still not even halfway to our halfway break.
Yeah, Slaughter's going to be looking for a reset, definitely. And that will come at halfway. You'll get the opportunity to come on down and get tires and fuel and reset yourself for the second half of the race. But that aggression early hurt him, but later it could help him. If he timed that just right, it would have been a pretty awesome move. But you just got to pick your poison. Big slide there for Hardin onto turn 3.
Yeah, it's already getting tighter. You can see him already starting to struggle again. Whoa! As Hardin gets loose again off turn 4. Yeah, I think, again, if he had not made that mistake and try to clear that gap and spun out, would have been running around 5th place, in or around 5th place up there with the leaders. But now he's got worn out tires and running near the back, so it's kind of harder for him to make a lot of the same progress he made earlier, though. Gets a great run out of turn 2. This is on the back of Jordan Martin in the 17 up ahead of him.
Still trying to fight to get back inside the top 10 is the Ada Slaughter. Might have a run here on the bottom. Nope, but just a little further up the road, you got Newbigging and Beckner that were going at it, but now Jake,
you're right.
Cut all over the place. Yeah.
Hunter saw it, I didn't.
Those two are going at it, and Newbigging might have a shot here, but got to go back up front because the 73 is on the move. Took over second, trying to take over first.
It's great to have choices of battles to watch, and this is what high horsepower, low downforce gets you. Battle out of turn 4 for the race lead. Elwood's got it. Jake Nichols wants it. He was the pole sitter, but has not yet led a lap. He fell backwards early, and forwards now comes the 73 of Nichols, and easily passed Elwood, who's almost up in the wall.
I think Elwood's trying to get a great run off the corner. He is going to get a great run. Is it going to be enough to fight with the 73? He actually backs out of it.
I couldn't tell if he scraped the wall on corner entry. It was a very interesting approach that he had going into 1.
Oh, he just did tag it. You're right, Hunter. Just the slightest touch. And it put him off line entering turn 1. And he just, instead of dragging it down to the bottom and scrubbing off the speed, he just committed to the high lane. And that will bring Seth Knoll right back to the rear bumper in his number 1 Camry.
Yeah, Noel actually also, it was when he was fighting with the 73 of Nichols, just got loose and had to back out of it. So that's how he lost that second place spot.
Hearn going to let Hartz have fourth for the moment. And now 26 of Poole getting closer and very close here. Brad Slaughter, Jordan Martin, they're still slinging it sideways for 10th. 5-8, really sideways, and the car behind him, Ricky Harden, sideways as well. Still a good battle here, just outside the top 10.
Watch the hands in there. Look how far he's got that wheel turned to the right to save it. Out of control is Brad Slaughter Jr. They're still wheeling it out of turn 2.
Whoa.
Wow. He's over here on the radio. Is it lap 50 yet? It's the caution now.
Cameron Hearn, though, is dropping like a rock. He let Ryan Hartz on through, then JT Poole and Sky all got past him really quickly. So Hearn, remember, we were talking about him just about 10 laps ago, talking about him charging near the front. He's now starting to fall off. I think he's one of those drivers that pushed a little bit too hard, is now paying the consequences.
One driver who is not paying the consequences, at least not yet, JT Poole. He's up to 5th. Just a solid showing from that 26 car. Again, won in the first open. Had some, that was essentially his early practice session, but see it on the hood, bring back 1,000 horsepower because he's quick in this.
It's treating him well, that's for sure. And what a race it is for one of the open qualifiers. Really strong start for JT Poole and continues to climb. Update on the 51 of Springer. We heard it was an Oculus issue. So he is just one lap down. But that obviously Oculus froze there and up into the wall in turn 3, and that's what caused that contact for the 51. Let's go back and look at the initial start with Greg Mitchell. And this is what happened on the initial green flag. He gets hit from behind by Travis Beckner there, just gets up underneath the left and right rear tires and picks it up off the ground.
Yeah, and he, again, is kind of pleading, hoping that a caution can come out sooner rather than later. But, I mean, I guess if he can just hang on the lead lap to lap 50, which we're just about halfway to that point, he'll be getting a caution, get fresh tires, and get back in with the running with everyone else. Just got to keep that car going in the right direction in one piece. Jake Nichols, speaking of going in the right direction, has now got a 7/10 of a second gap over Seth Knoll in second place. And Seth Knoll made a pass on Alan Elwood a couple laps ago.
Pit road. Sorry to cut you off there, Finian, but the 4 is made on the pit road. He could not make it to lap 50. He's going to pit now and switch the tires. It just wasn't enough for the 4 Fern.
Needed to switch up something. It wasn't going right. Go back to Ricky Harden and Brad Slaughter Jr. These two have just been absolutely scrapping back here.
I'm curious if we'll see some. Oh, Ricky Harden now coming to pit lane.
Interesting strategy. Is this a strategy play?
I guess so.
Because
if anything, I was expecting Brad Slaughter to come down.
Well, you can't make it the entire stage on fuel, guys. Fuel 35 to 40 lap run. So you're going to probably just split these in 2, I'd imagine, and come right on down halfway. So we'll expect everyone down.
Question is, I guess, when are these drivers going to come on down? We're halfway through to the stage break. Ryan Hart's coming on down.
Yeah, definitely a strategy play here, but I did not expect, I gotta be honest, I did not expect this, at least not this early. If they were going to pit, I would assume they'd wait a little later so they could get track position, but we'll see how this plays out because Springer, Harden, and Hearn are lapped down. I assume Hart's going to be lapped down as well. I'm also curious if there's any more takers because this could bring drivers like Alan Elwood, JT Poole, or even James Scioli. And it looks like they just brought in Seth Knoll.
Seth Knoll on pit lane in the Celsius Camry. And JT Poole is hounding the back of Elwood, who is beginning to look more and more frantic behind the wheel, chasing the rear tires again. My concern was with that right rear tire. If you're sliding around like that, it's going to make you very busy in the car, and the tire's very angry at you.
And here comes JT Poole taking advantage of the 10 being a little bit off kilter here. Elwood still fighting it on the outside, trying to hold the spot. He just does not have enough tire to do so. We'll have to yield. JT Poole up to second.
His back bumper says it all.
I don't know if anyone noticed this detail, guys. Look at the side skirt, how it's flared out away from that left rear tire. That is not a detail that is present or was present on the ARCA model. But as you look at the, it's hard to tell from this angle, but as we go into 3 and 4 again, watch the side skirt and how it's angled away, kicked out when teams were messing with that area to try to gain downforce. You see that left rear side skirt, how it's flared out like that? That's a cool detail as Alan Elwood hits pit lane.
That's a really cool detail. Elwood down onto pit lane. Anyone else joining him? I'm kind of surprised guys are still staying out there because we only got 20 laps to go till the break. So they're running out of laps to really make good use of these tires. But Beckner is down there. Ooh, did he get a penalty?
Yes, penalty for the 28 speeding on pit lane. That will be a big, big detriment to his evening. Here comes the leader.
Oh.
Got my spidey senses tonight, huh?
Is that what it's called?
Probably.
Perfect terminology. And we got another one coming down pit road. It is Ed Robertson.
JT Poole takes over the lead here. And we'll see how this is going to pan out, guys. If you can only make it to lap 35, lap 40, a pit stop would put you. Well, I guess either way, the strategy works. It's going to be a 3-stopper or a 2-stopper. I guess JT just wouldn't pit at the halfway break.
I guess not. But I mean, considering everyone else is coming on down, especially a lot of the leaders, I would say you're going to definitely want to come down.
He'll have to come, but the question is if he can just get to lap 35 or 40 and only have 10 lap full tires and then stay out.
I see.
Versus, he looks like he's going to come in this time, I thought.
That's not too terrible of a strategy. And
versus,
it seems like he's been nursing his tires. That's the key thing. If you've actually been nursing your tires, they'll actually be able to go the distance.
Yeah.
So.
Basically, it's pit at lap 40 and lap 80 versus pitting at lap 25, 50, and 75. That's the strategy there.
So not to mention, all these guys behind fifth might be fourth now. Mitchell's down pit road. All these guys behind are a lap down. So if a caution comes out, this definitely changes the dynamic of it. And I think Poole's coming down this time.
Yep.
Ironically, Brad Slaughter's actually been staying up this entire time. I'd have thought he would have come down earlier, but he's still hanging out there, as well as James Scioli and Douglas Newbing.
James Scioli takes over the lead for the time being as we hit the 1/3 mark of the area all-star race.
Douglas Newbing, I hear him clutching into turn 1.
Saving fuel. Look at how much he lost, though, to the 10 of Bellwood.
Clutching again.
Yeah, I think even Brad Slaughter in behind, too, he's also clutching.
Maybe trying to get to that halfway break, Finian, but I don't see the advantage of this.
Yeah, I don't. It's a little weird, I gotta say. I guess the thought is that you would make it to the halfway, then you'd be leading coming on into pit lane. And all the guys at pit, they're going to be coming into pit as well. So they'll end up being the leader with fresh tires.
I don't know.
I guess that's the strategy. I didn't even think we'd be talking that much about strategy in an all-star race, but here we are. I'm all for it. Strategy makes things interesting, but I'm just kind of surprised to see such a difference in strategy here.
And back to battling. First drivers that have already pit, Ryan Hartz and Seth Knoll. Here's their battle re-engaged. 1 lap difference between their tires. Knoll's on the newer ones.
Comes Knoll trying to get a decent run off the corner. Cameron Hearn not too far on behind these two drivers as they go side by side across the line.
So that worked out for Hearn quite a bit, because when the top 3 pit, this will eventually become the battle for the lead. And in that case, the 1 car looking to go back into the 1 position because Knoll just passed Hartz, but don't look too far behind, guys, because that 73 in Nichols is getting closer and closer in the mirror of Hearn.
And looking very glued to the blue line and not sliding around the tires. He was by far the fastest that first run. And Scioli is out. I thought for a second that Scioli was running the same laps as Nichols, but it was not. It's 2 seconds slower almost exactly. So I was so distracted by the tenths I wasn't looking at the seconds.
We're not in the next gen.
Yes. Where the tires don't matter at road courses and you can just have tires bolted on for 10 fuel runs?
Yes.
Yeah, no, you got to take care of these tires, otherwise you're going to be in for a long night.
think I was about to make a pass on her in this lap.
He's catching it very quickly in the middle of the corner.
Ooh, gotta be careful.
And off the corner.
It's very easy to submarine up underneath the rear bumper of the car ahead and turn him around. The noses on these cars are long and low, and the rear bumpers are short and high, so not like my friends in high school. But as we come out of turn 4, across the stripe, 38 laps complete of the 100 tonight. Sorry.
One a night.
Yeah, indeed. But I'm genuinely curious. These guys, I hear these guys, Scioli, Slaughter, and Newbie, I just hear them going longer and longer, clutching through the middle of the corner. So at this point, I feel like they're committed. I'm just surprised because I thought they wouldn't be able to even make it to the stage break on 1K.
Completely clutched down in turns 1 and 2 for Brad.
And the question is, because Seth Knoll's catching them at a really quick rate, the lap times they're slowed down almost to 33-second lap times, meanwhile Seth Knoll's under 31 seconds, and he's catching them very quickly. He's 8 seconds back to Newbig and catching at 2 seconds a lap.
Yeah, this really confuses me. It really does, because I'm not sure what the strategy is for Scioli, Slaughter, and Newbigging, because they're at this rate, they're all three of those guys are going to be a lap down before this halftime break.
The 40% of this race is complete this time through, and Scioli comes out of turn 4. We're all on, not battling for $1 million, just 100 a night, but as
Douglas Newbigging is coming in.
As Hunter mentioned, $100 enough to buy you a good steak. But Newbigging
Very good steak.
on pit lane for 4 new Goodyears. And I can't imagine Brad Slaughter Jr. and Scioli would be far behind.
Yeah, I guess not, but I'm just kind of curious because I don't see the point in saving this much on fuel if you're going to come in anyway, but I'm not a race strategist, I guess.
Yeah, because the tires do even out at some point, but the fuel, I don't know if the top two, Scioli and Slaughter, I don't know if they're going to have enough fuel to make it. I mean, but with the way they've been saving, they might, but I don't know, scratches my head. We'll have to figure out in the next 8 laps or so if they're going to be on the lead lap or if they're going to be caught picking their noses a lap down.
Still making it around the racetrack. Jake Nichols, 7 seconds back from Brad Slaughter Jr., and just 3/10 back from him is Seth Knoll. 3/10 back from him is Ryan Hartz, and 2.5 seconds back from him is Cameron Hearn. Here's a little battle between Alan Elwood and JT Poole.
Yeah, I was going to say, JT Poole, he's been trying to work his way up the order. I think he's got past number 10, now trying to look at Cameron Hearn just up ahead of him. And there's Douglas Newbing in the middle of this, getting back up to speed with his fresh rubber.
That being a lap down as well.
Again, I think the strategy for Scioli and Slaughter is hit pit lane and then come back out and do not pit at the halfway break, and then just pit again around lap 75 or 80 and you go to the end from there. Because everyone else will be pitting at lap 75-ish, but they'll basically cut out a pit stop and lead that middle segment.
Interesting stuff, though. A lot of strategies playing out here between Scioli and Slaughter. Looks like Newbiging's bailed out of it. Scioli and Slaughter continuing onwards.
I'm just amazed at how far they've been able to push this, guys.
Yeah, I was going to say they're really pushing on the limit right now. 45 laps, and assuming that they're going to try to make it till the stage break, they got 5 laps to go. Oh, here comes Jake Nichols. He's actually going to rocket by Brad Slaughter. You can see the speed difference between a driver that's pushing on fresher tires and a driver that's saving on old tires.
Yeah, this doesn't work, though. If you go a lap, well, I guess it might. If everyone pits, then you'll get the wave around, but then you'll be at the tail of the field. So you have to be able to stay on the lead lap for this to really work well, and I don't think they're going to be able to do that.
Well, Douglas Newbing, he stayed... He went a lap down, but again, everyone is definitely going to pit. I don't think anyone's going to stay out at the stage break, any of the drivers that came in earlier.
Jake Nichols
Whoa.
closing on Scioli out of 4, and he's going to blow right by him at lap 47.
Did he lead that lap?
He did by 46 thousandths of a second.
Wow. Hard to imagine he's only led 12 laps this race.
James Scioli on this particular strategy has led more, 14. Yeah, I mean, if he can make it to the halfway break, that'd be exceptional. But you're not going to win the race doing this in the second half, so I'm not really sure what this gains you.
I think they're trying to just hope that they can stay up near the top of the order and then pit with the leaders. But they're slowly dropping down. Brad Slaughter's getting really shot down the order right now. Back in 8th.
Yeah, he's nearly back to where he was after losing his track position early on.
JT Poole, guys, I'm watching just the consistency, the pace is there. Give him track position towards the end of the race. I'm picking this 26 to win this thing.
So you're changing your pick?
Not yet.
changing it
You're
from
changing your picks more than the weather.
I'll change my picks when the timing and scoring changes the pick.
Yeah, just like the end of the second open.
Yep. You guys got me figured out. No one drew up rules about when you could pick.
Guess not, but guess you're not wrong.
Went from New Bigging. My pick is New Bigging and Slade, Okreze, Bell, Grant, Robertson. Yep, that's my pick. That's my that's right.
Now you can't do that. Only I can, because I make the rules, and I just said that you can't. Through goes JT Poole into second place.
Wow, second already.
Yeah, it's because he's moving up pretty well, and Jake Nichols is going to come across the line, complete lap number 50. And should be getting the caution. There it is.
Wow, what a drive from Poole.
I'm really impressed with JT, and he earned his way in, and he's not wasting the opportunity.
Yeah, he's definitely not. I am also surprised at how well he worked his way up through the order, because when he came out in the of the first pit stop he made, got shot out around 11th or around 8th or 7th place. So the entire rest of the run, he just drove his way up on pace alone up to second place. So really solid job there.
James Scioli did make it to the yellow.
Oh, Brad Slaughter did not. He actually came in because I think he was on fumes basically.
Well, Scioli is going to have to go around again. It's still under power, so definitely. Oh, is there a sputter? There is a sputter.
Uh-oh.
He's clutching in now, but he is out of fuel.
Can't get a bump either with the way these cars are.
Yeah.
He is not yet caught up. I mean, he'll make it, but just.
Barely. He'll make it, but then again, it begs the question, was it worth it? I don't think it was.
And it's holding up everyone behind him, too, because they can't overtake. Well, they're coming up pit road anyway, but it's just a massive gap.
Onto pit road. Here they come.
And again, shouldn't expect anything too crazy here. Should expect everyone to take 4 tires and fuel.
You take 2, you're a psycho. In this scenario, if this was lap 93, yes, okay, you could take 2, but 53.
So, cars out of pit lane. Here they come. JT Poole. Ooh, that's close.
No.
Oh,
I don't think he got
man.
it.
He didn't.
Nichols by the hair on his chinny chin chin, gonna beat the 26 out of pit road.
I was gonna say he purely got that because he's the first pit stall. I think if he was second or third, I think with the momentum JT Poole had, he would have got him.
Yeah, that first pit stall at Charlotte pays dividends. We saw in the Coke 600. I think it was Byron at the first pit stall. He would drop back to 4th, 5th, and just come out of pit road first every time, just because that first pit stall, it's so close to the timing line where they exit pit road. It's really the most, in my opinion, the most beneficial pit box in all of NASCAR.
So, the Area All-Star race is half complete, half to go. A little under at this point. JT Poole leads the way, and while we've got a couple of moments, a couple people to thank as we get to our season here, the All-Star race. Race fans, be sure to check out rickshotsauce.com for some of the best hot sauces made locally in South Florida. Try the Loxahatchee Classic, Golden Garlic, Palm Beach Pineapple, or South Beach Heat. Follow the Rick's Hot Sauce Rookie of the Year battle in the Area Cup Series and see which driver will take home the $100 prize as the highest finishing rookie in the point standings.
Speaking of rookies, did anyone notice that Connor Horn joined the race?
No, 39 laps down.
I was looking there. I'm like, whose car is that? I'm like, oh, it's Connor.
Just to do it, I'm sure.
He said he needs a 15-car pileup. Which, I mean, if he's looking at it based off the Open, I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility.
That pretty much did happen in the Open.
Granted, he's probably going to need it to happen 39 laps earlier.
Well, he's running out of laps for that to need to happen. It needs to happen by laps, what is that, 61?
Basically, yes. So
right on this restart.
Within 10 laps.
I was say, get a head start now. Screw it. Screw the pace car. Just log laps.
And you can see there's outside Brad Slaughter. Slaughter having to come in with an empty tank. I think he got a speeding penalty. So he's on pit lane for a while. Lost 2 laps. He got one of those laps back, being just able to rock around the leaders. It's still 1 lap down.
Let's see if we get the 1 to green or if it'll be a 2 to green this time by. And if it's a 2, we're going to take a break. If it's a 1, we're going to be going back racing here in just a moment. And it is the 1. Connor Horn gets a lap back, one of many. Fields re-racking, restacking. I'm still liking my picks. Both are on the front row.
I think by the time the race is over, we're gonna basically have picked half the field.
Didn't say I couldn't.
It's like some of those NASCAR fans on Twitter where they have half the field in their bio.
Or like the Reddit avatar, or what do they call them? Reddit flares?
Reddit, yeah.
And they're like somehow a Kyle Busch fan and a Joey Logano fan, and you're like, how? How have you not had an internal combustion over this?
Kyle Busch or Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Or some are a Chase Elliott fan and a Hamlin fan.
Yeah. Oof. I just learned the other day that Kyle Busch's win at Gateway yesterday was on the 12th anniversary of him getting clocked in the face by Richard Childress. To the day. 12 years to the day. And now he's won. He's also now, if he wins 3 more races, he'll be the 3rd winningest driver at Richard Childress Racing in history.
Wow.
I guess isn't saying a lot, but
I mean, they used to be good.
He passed Paul Menard in Cup wins after Dega.
well, they might have used to be good, but we're trying to find out who is good. 45 laps to go from Charlotte and the Area All-Star race. Here we go. Open Pandora's box, boys. We got 45 laps to go, and this is the first time drivers have had some battles to do right in front of them instead of on strategy in some time. So you see those positions, you can go up right around and drive around and take them.
That's because Jordan Martin's following that advice, rocking around the outside of Ricky Harden, now trying to rock around the outside of Alan Elwood, who's fallen all the way back to 6th. Kind of surprised to not see this 10 car going in the opposite direction, but I think he, again, might want to try saving his tires a little bit better, because we saw in the first part of the race, he went a little bit too hard on the opening. Cameron Hearn also making a move on Seth Knoll for 4th place.
Yeah, great battles going on from 4th on back as Martin and Scioli going to try and make up as much ground as possible after that debacle with saving fuel. Going to look to the outside of Elwood there for the 7th position.
Getting pretty frantic back here inside the top 10, but Out front, Nichols is setting a
Whoa.
pretty fervent pace here.
Elwood clipping the apron. He's going to send him back 2 or 3 positions, so he's going to drop back now to 10th. Ricky Harden trying to fight that spot. Oh, sorry, he's in 9th. Ricky Harden's fighting for that spot to put Elwood back in 10th place. Single file mostly up near the top of the order, though, as Jake Nichols trying to drive away JT Poole. I'm really curious to see, does JT Poole have the raw pace? I think Poole's got a lot of long run pace, but short run pace, I'm not quite sure if it's there for the 26.
Yeah, I'm not sure either for short pace on the 26. He's got hearts over his bumper. Not looking to the inside just yet, but the 3, if he gets too impatient, might have to make a move on the outside. And, or as I like to call it, the express lane, because we saw a good bit of drivers do that to the 10 of Elwood, which I think the longer we go, the more they will pay off for Elwood.
Scioli up high in 1 and 2. Trying to find the rim to ride. Here he comes around the outside of Cameron Hearn. Big
Hart's a
bobble
little
by
loose.
Hartz. Yeah, that was a big moment one.
Oh, he's going to go up in front of the 7, going to kind of cut off his progress as he's side by side still with Cameron Hearn. Now Hart's going to block the bottom lane. 7 going to try to take advantage up on top.
A little too much there for Scioli. Might have a solid exit off, but he is one of those that's running the outside lane, trying to get up front as quick as possible. Got to imagine what that's going to do for the tires, though, 10, 15 laps from now.
Side by side for 4th place. 40 laps to go. And this race is winding down, guys. 20 minutes is all that separates Jake Nichols from $100 and a title of the 2023 Area All-Star Champion. JT Poole is close, and he's had better pace than everybody except the driver ahead of him. Although everybody last time by in the top 5 was faster than Jake Nichols.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's starting to fall off, but then again, we usually don't see him fall off. He might just be trying to back it down and manage that gap as James Scioli finally gets around Cameron Hearn. Hearn gets relegated back to 5th place.
He doesn't fall off, he preserves. there's a difference between the two, and I think he's just doing that to kind of toy with the pull machine a little bit, because we like to see sometimes we see that from leaders. They back off, and the car behind him in second thinks that, oh, they're catching him, and then they try to push harder, and they waste their tires a little bit more. And the 7 might look to the inside here for 3rd, heading into 3. It's gonna do it.
Yeah, preservation and falling off, 2 very different things. How do I know that? Because you can't go to a store and buy a jar of strawberry fall-offs. So
I'm going to act like I understood what that was.
strawberry preserves? You guys never had?
Oh, no, I know. I kind of know what you're talking about with that.
Oh, come on. You can't let me not land that.
Strawberry fall-offs. It sounds like a dessert.
It does.
$100 could buy you a nice dessert.
Are you hungry, Hunter?
A little bit.
We're
I'm
all a little bit
starving,
hungry.
dude. I drove back from Gingerman, got stuck in traffic for God knows how long in Chicago, jumped right on my computer. My cat has not left my lap. He is made of lava. He is the hottest item on planet Earth right now. He has his hands dug into my wrist that is on my mouse, and he wants this to be over. I'm enjoying myself, but food and letting this cat cool off are next on the list.
Hey, look how close everyone is as this run has gone on. Really not seeing too much fall off there for most inside the top 10. A few stragglers back, but very nose and tail here. And as soon as I say that, 7's going to try and get a run on the outside, see if he can overtake the 26 of Poole for second.
Yeah, Scioli got a real good run on the outside there, and has been about a 10th quicker than JT the last couple of laps around. We'll see if that pays off here. Now to the bottom in 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think the issue there is you really, when you walk around that high lane, you end up using up that right rear a little bit more. And again, when you're trying to manage your stuff over this run, you're gonna kind of want to avoid that. I think you're gonna see a lot of these guys for this first part of the final half of this race, just kind of managing their stuff out, because remember, these guys are gonna have to come down pit lane. I doubt we're gonna see anything like we saw in the first part and see someone try. Actually,
I would say it would make more sense to save here.
yeah, I was gonna
save
say, yeah.
Poole.
Now that I think about it, now actually is like you said, I think that might be worth sticking it out. But that being
Well.
said, if I think what we definitely learned from the first run, though, if you're going to save, start saving now.
I mean, you can make it. You can make it to the end if you save because.
Oh, and plus, sorry to cut you off. Plus, we took the green flag, so we don't have exactly 50 laps to go when these guys started.
That's exactly what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Skyoli made it 50, 51, and that's with the caution in between. Slaughter was a couple laps short. So those two, if they wanted to save fuel again, they could make it. But that's if we don't get a caution. Possibility of a yellow is always there, even though it might be very slim in this case. It could still happen, but, you know, like if you're Slaughter's a lap down, but if you're the 51 the Springer here, you could try to save fuel, preserve it to the end. Could win it that way, but who knows? We'll see. Coming to 30 to go next time by.
Ricky Springer not clutching in or saving fuel by any appearance of it, but here's Hartson Hearn nose to tail for fourth place. Cameron Hearn doing much better the second run so far here, Finian, but we're in a fuel window to go to the end. If you wanted to just pit now, you could do it and be done.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like everyone's trying to save at the moment because they're all so close together. The entire top 7 are all within a second of each other. Like you can see, look visually right there. Everyone's pretty much in the same shot,
Conga line.
and no one's really making a whole lot of moves. They're pulling on a line here and there. They may try to make up one spot, but everyone's kind of falling in line like a conga line, as you said, Hunter.
That's the best way to describe it, because if one falls, then the rest do.
30 laps to go, 29 this time by. Time is, well, I almost say ticking, but we've established that doesn't tick.
Whoa! Travis Beckner in the wall.
Oh, man.
Oh, he broke something too. That car is destroyed.
Look at how skewed it is from the contact.
Just walked up the hill on him. Here's a look.
He was running around the tail end of the conga line and just stepped out.
Well, better for that happening at the tail end than the front.
So if you're Jake Nichols, when do you make this decision?
I think he just made it now because he's pulled a few tenths since that since that moment happened with Beckner.
From second on back, it's very close. Are they letting Jake set a pace that's too fast?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, and this is kind of the big question mark because some of these guys, they might be saving. They might feel like they can make it to the end because Skyly, if anything, he proved it's possible because now you only have to make it 45 laps instead of 50, and he was able to do around 50, and now that with extreme fuel saving. But if you start saving now, you stand a better chance of making it. But it's so hard to tell from the guys that are saving, from the guys that are just being conservative on the tires, and still planning on pitting around halfway. But we are around halfway through this run here, coming up in just actually really one lap time.
Bull pulled in about close to a tenth that lap, but yeah, it's going to be kind of close here with some of these guys and what they want to do. If they want to push it or they want to preserve it.
I heard someone get the clutch in. Was it Ricky Springer? Oh. What was that all about? He hit the wall?
Might be loose.
Is this damage new on this car? No. No, that's not new. Ricky Harden in pit lane. Back live, 25 to go.
And one of the first guys to come down pit lane, see if anyone else will follow. Because I have a feeling there's going to be a few people that are going to bite. I think if you're a driver that can really make up time pushing hard on tires, I think you might be worth coming in. Might be worth coming in.
Well, Poole has started to separate himself from third on back, but will it be enough to catch up with the leader, Jake Nichols?
Battle for fourth is getting pretty interesting here. Hearn and Scioli. Thought we'd see a bit more out of the 7 tonight, but that alternate strategy I don't think really played out in his favor quite as well. I'm a little surprised he didn't just have the raw pace to be running up where JT and Jake have been all night.
He has made up a decent amount of spots from that strategy, though, so he fell back a little bit, restarted, and worked his way up to 5th now, but was in 4th, got dropped back to 5th. It's Cameron Hearn starting to cut his way through the order now. His next start is Ryan Hart's right ahead of him.
Seth Knoll having a look down the back straightaway for 5th place.
Yeah, he figures it's time to go, and he's going to look to the inside. James Kelly up on top, a little bit loose in the 7 machine.
Before our final pits,
the run there.
Before our final pit stop sequence gets underway, race fans, be sure to check out shop.areairacing.com for merchandise to represent your favorite drivers and teams. Shop from our brand new selections of Champion t-shirts, jackets, hats, and more. Easier to shop, quicker to ship, better to wear. Shop.areairacing.com. Hearn now hounding Hearts.
Yeah, all over the back of him, trying to see if he can find a way on by. I bet that these two guys aren't saving at this point in time. Whoa, Hart's looking really sideways off of 2. Still holds on to it.
Oh, cow.
A lot of yaw in the mid-corners for these cars. Leaning on the side force the little bit that they did generate. Obviously, the car is designed asymmetrically.
Oh, caution.
Oh, Ed Robertson is in the wall. That changes a lot, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
That sure does.
Ed Robertson has had a front and left impact. Let's have a look at how it started.
But you're going to see Ricky Harden coming in. And again, reminder, he pitted. He was one of the only guys to pit. Got fresh tires.
Wow. Wow.
And just steamrolled the 64.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, man.
That was ugly. I mean, I know that 64 slid up a little bit, but he just came in there with a huge head of steam. And just kind of drove into the back of him.
What a view from inside the car.
Yeah. That was definitely on Ricky there. But that's going to set us up for probably a sub 15 lap run to the end here.
Well, do you take 2 if you're someone like Newbigging, Skyliel, with those outside the top 5, just to switch it up?
I want maneuverability. 15 laps is a lot of laps. Here they come. And also, Brad Slaughter Jr. will get his lap back.
Look at how close Poole is
I was gonna
to
say.
Nichols. It took the words right out of your mouth, and he was close to beating him off pit road last time by. We'll see if he can do the same here.
Play the pit game, get whatever advantage you can get.
Very quiet as everyone's pulling into their stall and all getting 4 tires. And this is the point where maybe I could see someone. Oh,
the 7!
I was just gonna say someone could maybe pull off 2 tires, get that track position. You got to do something because only the winner matters here. There's no good point stay here. So James Kelly and Greg Mitchell. How about Greg Mitchell getting back into the mix of things?
Turned around on lap 1.
Yep, lap 1, turn 1. Gets back into it, got back in with everything on the caution halfway, and now in 2nd place, ahead of Jake Nichols.
Wow.
Oh boy, it's going to get spicy.
Connor Horn will get probably another one of his 38 laps back.
37 more to go.
We're going to take a very short break, and we'll be back with the restart here for the Area All-Star Race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the Area All-Star Race from Charlotte Motor Speedway. Kyle Heyer, Finney Nakuna, and Hunter Sleppy joining you for this early summer. What are we calling this, boys? Just
Shindig.
shindig. I like
I was gonna
it.
say slam, but
Yeah.
I like shindig better.
It's non-points tonight, just going for $100, $100 check, and buy yourself a steak or a dessert or whatever other food item Hunter is desiring at the moment. But we are about 16 laps away from finishing this race out, and it's going to get very interesting. Up front, two drivers on two tires, James Scioli and Greg Mitchell. Finian, this is going to get very spicy. JT Poole and Jake Nichols behind him have been the class of the field all day long, but have four tires.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see how this works out because I'm willing to bet the guys on four tires are most likely going to try to steamroll these guys. I think the four tires are definitely going to be better. That being said, if Scioli can just hold off and kind of hope that some other carnage plays off in behind, he might be sitting pretty because there's so few laps to go. We got 16 coming to 15 laps to go. So these guys needed to try something, and I'm kind of glad that someone just tried something to upset the order. And this is also going to be fantastic for JT Poole because he has a chance at getting around the 73.
One thing that we haven't seen all night is the leader restart on the outside line. We've seen the leader restart on the inside line the entire night, and we've seen how much of an advantage that is for those on the bottom. If you're on the outside, you can't go because of where the restart zone is. So this will be interesting in how the 7 will launch, how the 2 will launch, and how everyone else reacts behind.
And Brad Slaughter Jr. has nothing to lose. He will restart 14th place. 15 laps to go in the Area All-Star Race. Pace car pulls off. Here we go again. $100 on the line. Scioli out front. Mitchell, Poole, Nichols, Hartz, Knoll, your top 6. Front 3 rows. Here we go.
Yeah, a great start for the drivers on the outside. A great start for JT Poole. Already looking to the inside. Going to swap back to the outside on the 7, trying to see if he can get around quickly.
Got to run on the outside.
Car on the wall behind him.
Car on the wall.
Newbegin. He keeps it straight. We'll continue.
Oh, and JT Poole, he got a poor run off of turn 2. Got a little bit loose. Had to back out of it. Ryan Hart and now Jake Nichols working their way on by.
Wow, Ryan Hart could steal this one here.
I picked him. You can't touch him, Kyle.
Scioli leads. 14 to go. The lap's winding down.
Here's the C for James Scioli again. I am going to be struggling on old left side tires. And here comes Jake Nichols on the inside.
It's a slip and slide back there. Nichols going to have a run on the inside. Nope, going to back out. Hart's going to take over second for sure. JT Poole still knocking for third. On board with him.
Down the front straightaway, 13 to go, and for the lead.
Ryan Hart's looking to the inside. James Scioli going to be up on the outside. I don't think he's got the tires to compete with. And Ryan Hart is your new leader as 7 is sideways off of turn 2.
The one's in the wall,
car in
Seth
the wall.
Knoll.
I'll say they were 3 wide behind the top 4 here. Now Poole going to look to the inside of Nichols, or is the 73 going to try and get a run on the outside of Scioli?
Real tight out of turn 4. Ryan Hart's his best friend is Scioli. Keep him in the rear view. 12 laps to go. Oh, they're going to touch almost.
Poole almost took out the 73 with the way they are ending in the corner, but Jake Nichols, he's going to get a run on the 7. Here comes Poole to the inside, 3 wide for a second.
Oh, he's going to have to keep it low if he wants to have a shot at this all-star race because the 7 starting to fade with those 2 tires.
Poole really needed to stick with Nichols, who almost got in the wall there out of turn 4. Pretty critical to stay with this 73. If he gets clean air, he's gone.
We got a race on our hands, guys. Here, the 3 versus 73 versus the 26. And how about if JT Poole can pull this off? He's got a very quick car underneath him. Raced his way in through the open. All these guys came in here with as race winners in the season. He drove his way into this event. And I had the chance to win it all here.
He could, and right behind them, these guys are trying to vie for a shot themselves as they're working their way around Scioli. That's Hearn, Elwood, and Beckner, even after his issue on pit road, up to 7. Or 6, excuse me.
JT Poole is not to waste that All-Star Open entry. into third place and just tracking down the 73. And all he's got to wait for is for Hartz to fall back into the clutches of Jake Nichols and then pounce when the opportunity is there. He's in the wall out of 4.
A little bit of a tap. He seems to be okay from it, but I would say he might want to try to get past the 73 before Nichols has a chance of catching Hartz. Because think if the 73 gets clean air, he's going to be gone.
Gave the wall just a little smooch.
Down the back straightaway now. Ryan Hartz trying to keep Jake Nichols behind him. Nichols has really been the class of this field. We documented how many laps, or how few laps he had led earlier, but he added to that total 48 laps led for him. JT's only led 3. Hartz only led 6 and only needs to lead 8 more to win this race.
And now they're all getting back bunched up together again. Here comes Cameron Hearn in behind the 26, so Poole might have to start looking in his mirror here because Cameron Hearn might make a move. We know that the 4 has really good short run pace.
Going down the back stretch and into the closing laps, does Hartz have enough to keep the 73 at bay, or will they make contact, and could the 26 of Poole be in the catbird seat? Or Hearn? Hearn is closing in quite a bit as well.
7 laps to go. Count them down. 3 minutes of racing remaining.
The entire top 4 within half a second of each other. Cameron Hearn gets a great run to JT Poole, who got loose off of the corner. Here comes the 4, looking to the inside of the 26.
Hearn still looking for third. Nichols closing in on Hartz again. You saw Hartz down on the backstretch, trying to bring out the draft.
JT Poole sideways off the corner and behind for third. Drag race to the line. Cameron Hearn's going to just get ahead of the 26 of Poole. Can he clear him on entry? The 26 dives.
Oh, JT absolutely committed to the outside lane here in turn 1. And for the lead, nose to tail for the top spot, side by side for third. Here now comes the 73, takes a look to the inside but doesn't have overlap.
And right behind Hearn and Poole going to make contact. Poole up the track in the wall. Hearn's going to take over third. Here comes Elwood.
5 to go.
JT Poole's effectively out of it for now. It's all down to Jake Nichols and Ryan Hartz up at the top. For Hartz, where do you go? Do you go defend the bottom? Do you defend the top?
You just mirror drive at this point.
Yep, mirror driving. Cameron Hearn is sitting in the catbird seat. If these two get together, we saw how the open ended. Four laps to go.
It's a familiar place for both these drivers racing around each other. They just can't seem to get separated from each other for the lead in many times across many different tracks in the Cup Series.
The run on the outside for Nichols. See if he can challenge the 3 getting into turn 3. Gonna peek his nose down low, but not close enough just yet. The 4 of Hearn, though, closing in, could make this a 3-horse race.
Oh, look at that 73 digging underneath. Left side's on the blue paint. 3 laps to go.
Riding right on the apron, just trying to find some sort of hole in the defense of the number 3 machine, Ryan Hartz, who's doing everything he can to keep Jake Nichols at bay. And as you mentioned, Cameron Hearn, he's closing ever so slightly. This might be a 3-horse race pretty soon.
And in the 3, boy, at one point, at some point, something's got to give, and the 73 gonna slide a little bit low. Not gonna be enough. Oh man, these 3 might make contact towards the end of this one.
Cameron Hearn's going to force the hand of Nichols to make a move. 2 laps to go and Hearn to the high side.
We're trying to see if he can get some clean air to work with, just build up a run off the corner, and then rocket to the inside of 73. A lap and a half left to go as they enter on the back straightaway.
Boy, oh boy, it's going to come down to possibly a bump and run or something, because these top 3, one of these are going to have to win, but it's not going to be clean.
White flag, 1 lap to go from Charlotte. Across the stripe, Finney, and into turn 1. One final time.
Yeah, here they go, 73 Jake Nichols. What does he have? He's got to make a huge lunge trying to make up some time all over the back of the 3. Will he be willing to use the chrome horns?
Not sure. Down the back for the final time, 73 and the 4. They're going to have a shot, but Hearn's looking for second here. This is the best thing that Hartz sees in his mirror.
Checkered flag, final time out of turn number 4. The 4, a distraction for the 73. The 4 slides. Ryan Hartz, though, is going to hang on and beat the dominant 73. Ryan Hartz with a late race pass and great late race defense wins the 2023 Area All-Star Race. And Cameron Hearn, he put the seal on it down in turn 3 for Jake Nichols. Didn't leave him the opportunity. Took the inside Finian and prevented Jake from having one last shot.
I was going to say, I'm sure Ryan Hartz is a huge, massive Cameron Hearn fan right now because that helped him out so much. And I think actually Cameron Hearn got disqualified because he actually got put back to 13th.
Yeah, maybe for cutting the track there, but Ryan Hartz did no such thing. Winner and $100 richer.
Buy a good steak, buy a big old birthday cake or a celebration cake, or in this case, my opinion, it's the summer shindig. So it's hot. You're gonna want some ice cream. I got a M&M's ice cream cookie sandwich waiting for me, and I think you can buy a big old box of those. Oh,
really good.
He's gonna celebrate with Ricky Springer, teammates over at Solid Rock Performance, with a solid performance indeed in this All-Star race.
Wow, look at the smoke.
There you go. I mean, they're not going to do these cars anyway for the rest of the season, so might as well blow the motor.
All right, let's have a look at our race results before we talk to our race winner. Winner of the All-Star race is Ryan Hartz. What a great late race defense. Jake Nichols second, Elwood third, then Poole and Beckner the rest of the top 5.
Yeah, then looking on past that, Seth Knoll, unfortunate for him because he looked like he had a really strong car at some points. Wasn't quite there near the end. James Coley, the 2-tire call just did not work. Jordan Martin, Brad Slaughter never was quite able to get near the front. We saw him with that hard charge up at the beginning of the race, got slipped back, then tried to pull a strategy, didn't quite work, so back in 9th for him, and then Greg Mitchell finishing in 10th.
Then the rest outside the top 10, Springer, Robertson, and Cameron Hearn crossed the line third, but got pushed back to 13th after cutting the grass. Hardin, Newbigging, and Horn out.
That's your finishing results for the Area All-Star race. Let's talk with the driver that came up one spot short. Jake, you led a huge portion of this race, and you had a shot at the end, but a big swing in turn 3 for Cameron Hearn kept you from turning down to the bottom, and maybe you would have had a shot, but Ryan Hartz's defense was excellent. Take us through what you needed to beat Ryan Hartz and pick up that check tonight.
Guys in last place not wrecking, really. I mean, Hartz deserved it. He had good pace all night, and he obviously drove his butt off to hold me off there, but just wish it stayed green. By the time we had that caution, track temp cooled down a lot, so it kind of took a little of that freeness out of it, I guess you'd say. So we were closer on speed, all of us, on that short run there to the checkered, and I wasn't gonna wreck Ryan. I maybe could have got right on his bumper and hoped that he maybe felt pressure a little bit. I wish Cameron would have stayed behind me just because of that. It kind of just put us at zero chance of winning, both of us doing that. But it's racing. I mean, it's whatever. We drove really good tonight for the most part. Kind of how our season's gone. We do great, and then just circumstances happen, and we don't really win. But either way, car was fun. It was fun when we were 100+ degree track temp. I knew I'd be really good long run pace, and just wish it would have stayed green. I think we'd have had that locked up on fuel. But either way, Hartz deserved it. He ran a good there in that last run, and just hate those late race restarts too, because I never get the advantage. I got put on the bottom there behind Greg, who was also on 2, and I mean, that's the thing that lost me the race right there. No matter what, there's nothing else I could really do other than just wreck Greg, and I'm not going to do that. But either way, good job to Ryan there. Hopefully, we can come back to Pocono next week and get a dub.
Jake Nichols, second place in the All-Star race. Jake, thanks for talking. We'll see you next week at the Tricky Triangle.
Thank you.
And Ryan Hartz, winner of the Area All-Star race, held off a hard-charging Jake Nichols. No mistakes, no cracks in the defense for you, Ryan. Congratulations. You got $100 now to go buy a steak. That's what Hunter would spend it on. What are you going to spend your $100 winning check on?
It hasn't sunk in yet, really. Wow, I just won the All-Star race. That's insane to me. These cars are just so hard to control, especially on a long run. And I just can't believe I held off Jake like that. Like, I'm not usually, good like that. I would have messed up like every other track, I felt like. Because with that 73 on your bumper, man, oh my God, it brought memories back to Las Vegas last season, and I choked that one away. And I don't know, my stomach was in a knot. With like coming to 2 to go, my stomach like really hurt, and I was like, I'm about to get sick. This is not good. But I just kept my head in the game. I don't know how I did it, but we're all-star winners.
Well, no points on the line tonight, and as far as the car, it's not going to translate much to next week in any capacity, but does this carry some psychological momentum to the rest of the season?
Oh my God, yeah. I keep telling myself, why am I not winning? This is getting kind of annoying because I've been really, really fast in the Pro Series, and every week I've been really, really fast in the Cup Series, so I told myself it's only a matter of time. I did not expect to win this thing. In a Gen 4 car, this car takes a lot of talent to drive, especially on long runs. And I'm like, I don't think I'm going to be good enough to win this kind of race. But wow, I mean, this is definitely going to put a lot of momentum on my side for the rest of the season. I can't thank Matt Bell enough for spotting me. He's part of IRLC Motorsports in the Pro Series. Unfortunately, he didn't make it into the big race tonight, but he was spotting me, and I was talking to JT Poole and Ricky Springer all race, and those guys were such a big help. So thanks to everyone. I really appreciate it. Thanks to everybody who sent me texts already. It really, really means a lot.
Ryan, congratulations. Enjoy it. Let it sink in, and enjoy your prize dollars. We'll see you next week when we're back on the road again for the continuation of the Area Series. Congratulations. You're an All-Star Race winner in 2023.
We'll be ready for next week. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
All right, guys, wrapping things up here from the All-Star Race. Ryan Hartz, what an incredible defense, Finian. Didn't let by a multi-time champion, many-time race winner, Jake Nichols. He held his ground, and he's the winner and $100 richer.
Yeah, I was going to say, really solid job. Just really, in general, by everyone here tonight, there weren't a whole lot of wrecks, a few minor incidents here and there, but, chuck it up to racing incidents. Everyone kept it nice, clean, fought hard all the way through, and just a fantastic race there at the end between Ryan Hartz, Jake Nichols, Cameron Hearn, JT Poole. A great show overall.
Yeah, very, very great showing here tonight. Not only in the Open had some very good racing too, but like you said, the All-Star race, it seemed like it was going to come down to a bump and run. Hearn thought, on the other hand, didn't give the opportunity for Nichols to do that, and that proved to be the winning move for Ryan Hartz. Gets the job done. And we'll be back in a week from Pocono, my home track, so I'm biased, and I think that's going to be the best weekend of the fourth season of Area.
The Tricky Triangle up next week. Thanks so much for watching for this special event tonight, the Area All-Star Race. Ryan Hartz, your winner. We'll see you next week from the Tricky Triangle in Pocono, Pennsylvania.